Alrighty. Yeah, sorry for being a little behind schedule again. My gamers, Guilty Gear people. Hope everyone had fun watching the, Guilty Gear Olympics, aka Frosty Fostings, of course, over the weekend. The games in the US have ceased for now, or I mean, I guess they're still playing, you know, Sunday comfy casuals over there, but as far as the competitive gaming, we are done. However, we here on Bounty Hunters are still looking to wrap up the week with some joint EU/NA competitive gaming of our own. Yeah, we do have some NA participants on the roster tonight. That'll be extremely interesting. But yes, indeed, this is Bounty Hunters that you're watching right now, and we're a weekly show match event open to everyone to participate. The name of the game is, of course, as per usual, Guilty Gear Strive, and the format is first to 7 wins. Okay, so this week, towards the end of the schedule, like mentioned, we're gonna have 2 East Coast US participants clashing against some of our West Coast European competitors tonight. So the matches in question will be in the 5th and the 6th matchup slots, where first, Celphy Testament, a player that we've had the pleasure of having once before already, is facing Kuro Happy Chaos. And second, Masked Soul, who's fighting on Bounty Hunters for the first time, is gonna fight against Mox Baiken. I'm especially looking for this one since I believe we actually haven't had any Season 4 Soul participants on Bounty Hunters yet. And also, Mox is originally hailing from America too, and sort of seems to be one of our go-to players to actually match against our US participants at this skill level. Being sort of situated in a country next to the sea is generally useful for that purpose, as long as the routing in your country does not jump through some weird hips and hops. Anyway, otherwise, we're quite heavy on Baiken tonight. 3 of those, and 2 of Testaments on the roster as well. The skill level of the event is gonna be on average intermediate level, I would say. Our hardest hitting players, both skill level and character-wise, are gonna be found in the middle of the event, namely Jalis Abba and Diago Johnny. So Diago's joining in the usual Johnny after Nago last week, and yeah, now that I mention it, funny enough, Jalis is technically a Nago player as well, but perhaps recently more known for his Abba play ever since the release of the character. So these will technically be 2 players who play a common character, but won't be playing that character this time around. New faces to Bounty Hunters this week are mostly at the start of the event. In the number 1 slot, Next Chip is gonna battle it against Mob, and in the second one, Lussu shows up for the first time in a Finnish country mirror match. And then, of course, Masked towards the end of the event is also making their debut, as we talked about earlier. All right. That'll be what's up for the next 3 hours. Now, how about we circle back to the beginning and start talking about our first match of the evening. Let me bring out some cards, and also let me prompt players that it is indeed potentially good time to join the lobby. Next, and Mob. Let me get the lobby code as well. And also let me make sure, I'm gonna refresh myself so I don't actually nuke the lobby on accident. All right. So Nex and Mob, Chip and Testament. One would imagine that Testament being a rather zoner-ish character would have a lot of difficulties versus Chip, who is fast and generally, you know, historically tends to be kind of anti-zoning as far as characters go. But I think Testament actually has some really good tools to use in this matchup. Often enough, it's not very safe to swing for the fences against Chip, so to speak. So you end up using your K buttons much more than your S buttons at neutral to sort of check Chip from potentially dashing in on you. And my god, does Testament have lovely K buttons. I've personally enjoyed playing the Chip matchup much more as Testament rather than my current main, which is Sin, for that particular reason, is those K buttons are just so lovely. And on the current patch, Grave Reaper also should be completely unchallengeable at neutral. You know, what with its hurt box being removed last patch. Something that maybe in the past Chip could get away with, like dashing fast enough, maybe pressing button before Testament's fireball goes online, and maybe tagging the hurt box of Grave Reaper. But either way, even in previous patches, Grave Reaper has been pretty okay tool. It's just, you know, it is a fireball, and fireballs in general share a common vulnerability in fighting games, whereas, you know, they can be jumped over. So if your opponent takes a... Ooh, speaking of jumping over those fireballs, Testament not only does... Wait, hello! Grave Reaper S version, where are you going? But yeah, as I was about to say, Testament does have two different kind of standard fireballs. One is the S version on the ground, which you usually try to use to set up the succubus marker, but you can also do the upwards fireball, which is kind of strong for space control, preventing your opponent from getting in, but it's also really great on close range pressure, being plus and whatever. All right, next it's time to... Let me actually clip the names as well as they are, so we don't forget about that. Nice reversal there. Very slow, but it fulfills its purpose as a DP kind of move. From the YRC into corner pressure, misses the close slash. Needy, unfortunate there, which will give MOB an opportunity. Ooh, nice was holding there. Now, Next is throwing everything at the kitchen sink at MOB in order to try to get that pressure back. But MOB never gave it back after that. Just completely zoned in, reading every single move. All right, you're gonna burst. All right, next time you're in block stun, you're gonna YRC. I'm gonna read all of that, and we're gonna take that round just like that. Oh, there, I like that. So usually after the S fireball, when the marker has been applied on the stage, you would like to throw the crow in order to curse the opponent. But sometimes, you know, it's not very plus in the sense that, like, it's not safe for Testament to throw another fireball after that, or the crow rather. So you, ooh, well, that though, we got a big counter hit here. Should be able to wrap the round using the new rope there. Next, putting in the new tools. Hopefully we're gonna see more and more of that. A lot of, I want to say, Chip's combos, pressure sequences, even like mobility sequences at neutral have been now occupied. Nice heavy Grave Reaper there, preventing Next from running in. But yeah, that rope has fulfilled a lot of new purposes in Chip's game plan. Some of them have been argued to be like, you know, we already had tools for these situations in the past. Chip already had like an alternative to tackle those situations. But the tightrope, the new way to just, you know, run across the screen upside down, tends to be perhaps maybe more optimal way of doing things. Ooh, going to PRC there, drills down the jump 2K, that's gonna be punishable. However, the 2K not followed up by 2D. Still, ooh, frame trap into the fully charged, up fireball. Both players sort of struggling getting the nail on the coffin here. This will be a first successful combo in a while. Dropping MOB in the corner, keep up the pressure, YRC to match the meter. Ooh, nice whip punish there. But since we are very low on resources, that Kara Super won't be available for Next just yet. Both players are completely dry on those resources. This is basically just B&B stuff. Your most basic will be able to build. Oh, missed the tightrope conversion. However, there was enough time, even after dropping the combo, to get a comfortable melee there on MOB. That'll put Nex 1-1 here. Players opening it up, and MoB opening it up with the big hand 6p Testament. One Testament's best normals, and I wouldn't say Testament does have a lot of really good normals. For sure. I think the difficulty for the character definitely does not come from the potential or lack thereof of woo, nice! Ah, but despite that, RC won't be able to get a punish there. Tightrope going back and forth. In the end, MoB is just like, nah, I'll just swing close slash just in case. Because Nex, it felt like he was on the tightrope and just completely missing, almost as if being behind Testament, even though Testament was the one being cornered there. Interesting. There is still probably a lot of like, you know, the tightrope is kind of difficult to control, and if you still haven't gotten used to it, it might incur a couple of misinputs here and there. Right, tagged by the up fireball, tagged very well by the fireball again. Here we go, Nostrovia. This will be the max conversion here. Not only is it gonna break the wall, but it's gonna kill Nex. I thought that maybe the Japanese Guts, the Guts 5 could have saved Nex in this situation, but no, we're not gonna go into the next screen. We're gonna go into the next round. Ooh, teleporting there, that's kinda gutsy. And back into the corner. From the east coast to the west coast, and dash back into the throw. And another one. We got a kind of uninterruptible curse here, which will be enough from that hit. Even if you hit the opponent with fireballs afterwards, usually the Hylos, the Arbiter signs, they are gonna pop the opponent up in the air and give you slightly more combo potential depending on your position. Wow, the 6 heavy still grazed Nex, and look at that damage. That is absolute max damage conversion, I think, for Testament. I mean, I guess some close slash conversions would go into more, but I mean, when it comes to like anything else than close slash, that button is gonna deal quite a lot of damage for sure. Baiting the DPS well, side switch does not matter at this point, for Nex has already taken that massive 6 heavy starter that we talked about earlier. Successful round start this time for Nex in the corner. Ah, nice whip punish there, or rather shimmy, as they say. And this is where the optimal chip game plan begins. Are we gonna get the tightrope? No, just the basic safe jump in. Positive bonus, tension bonus is working its wonders, putting Nex again at 50% meter again, which would be really important, or rather is very important for a chip. Getting access to those Kara cancel conversions. Now, question here, is this Nostrovia gonna put... No, not quite in a wall break situation. An unfortunate side switch as well there for MoB. I think that was not what they wanted. Is it gonna be... No, not gonna be able to recover fast. Or I think MoB was actually trying to throw a Grave Reaper after that, which will get tagged by the Zanzeroga there, full screen. Very high commit option, but if your opponent commits to an option that has a lot of recovery as well, such as the fireball throws, you can definitely try to tack them out of it if you're at that far distance. Nice, with the speed, we'll be able to get there before the good K buttons that we were talking about earlier come online from Testament. Teleport into the close slash, and that will be nailing the coffin. MoB is moving forward, building a little bit of momentum here, moving to 3-1 position here early into this first set on Bounty Hunters. There is quite a bit of like unconventional mobility from Testament as well. We have... Ooh, wait a second, that jumping actually goes active before the up fireball goes online. I wonder, I forgot, was the hurt box removed from the heavy Grave Reaper as well, or just the grounded version for Testament last patch? Shimmy again, works wonders, no cancel. However, I think at this point, yeah, go with Zanzeroga. This won't break the wall, but I think this is more damage overall. So if you're about to finish the round, you should probably use this version if you don't need any of the benefits that you would get from the wall break, aka if your opponent is just gonna go down. Speaking of going down, that was the close slash counter hit starter that we were talking about earlier. Probably a really good place for Nex to burst. Ooh, the tightrope brings us around the world. How do we get out? Super jump, air dash out, sends the clone completely whiffing the 5D. Actually catches MoB teleporting in. Very interesting interaction there. Good punish there on the 5D. There must have been a misinput there. Wanted probably to do 2D, as the 5D is generally not the best neutral pokes. Misses the media opportunity there. The DP gets blasted by the fireball as well. And the tight drop. If we don't drop here, it should be a kill combo. That it will. The tightrope seems to have improved Chip's damage potential quite a bit. Like a lot of your conversions will now go into the tightrope, which not only gives you access to really damaging normal moves, like generally Chip's normals, the wall run normals are much more hard hitting than some of your other ones, but also it incurs a lot of like ability to wall carry. So most of those tightrope conversions, if you manage to get the opponent in the juggle, they are gonna probably end up in the corner as a result. Now with the curse, ooh, the DP, yeah, that's not gonna do much at that distance. And now we got the Nostrovia conversion. I think even if you can't get wall here, this should be a kill because you can pick up the combo after. Ooh, it's actually gonna be a wall break. All right. Okay. I think use the Crow there mid combo, guaranteeing another stain into the wall break, which probably was the most optimal thing to do here. Fully charged Grave Reaper, lots of plus frames. Of course, the sort of RPS there between, like, if you're vacuuming the opponent in with Testaments too heavy, which is usually what you go into the heavy fireball from. The RPS is, if you let it rock early, it's a frame trap with only some amount of frame advantage, but if you hold it, you're gonna get more. Ooh, jump K hitting front, usually known as the quotations cross-up tool. The glow slash will be missed, unfortunately. However, in the follow-up situation, MOB swinging that Grave Reaper upwards, controlling the space, and tagging itzznexx out of that. Looks like we're gonna get the first disconnect of the evening. So we'll see what we're gonna do here. The options generally when the spectator disconnection happens for bounty hunters is that we let the players decide if they're already diving into the game. We want to preserve the competitive integrity and not take them out of the heat of the moment. But if the players notice, they can sandbag out of the game as well. Looks like we are gonna play this here, so we're gonna miss one. Miss one game of action. Unfortunate, but it is what it is with what the Strive servers have built to become over time. Or rather, I guess it is a problem with the code as far as I've understood from the beginning, and at this point impossible to fix anymore. So we're gonna be stuck with it for the rest of our days. Maybe in the next game we're gonna have the perfect lobbies. I think Arxis doesn't have the most doesn't have the best track record with lobbies overall. So fingers crossed that we get it right in the next iteration of the franchise. Anyway, MOB with the 2-game advantage once again has the round lead, but looks like in the second round, itzznexx is putting on the heat, maybe bringing it even. This would be a rather important match in the sort of in the sense of the flow of the FT7. If MOB gets the win here, that'll be 3 games a lead. But if itzznexx manages to get it, there is still, you know, we are still hanging on to the opponent, so to speak, right on their tail. Only one buffer, one game of buffer. However, it looks like MOB is gonna take this one and move up to 5 points. Jump back in from the 5-2 situation. itzznexx is a little bit behind, but from what we've seen so far, it's for Chip, it's just about getting in there, able to get through the zoning, quotation zoning of the character that Testament is. You know, usually in Guilty Gear, like even zoner-ish characters tend to, after fulfilling their conditions with their zoning, they're gonna transition into either pressure, set play, all sorts of nasty shenanigans like that, and Testament definitely is not an exception to that rule. You do need to throw a couple of fireballs successfully to get the curse in, which is usually the win condition for our fancy gothic side swinging hottie that Testament is. Ooh, cut the backdash there with a clone, so no big conversion, and then punish to the overhead Rekka, teleporting forward straight into the clone slash again. MoB has been very daring with those teleport forwards, usually just following up straight with not even your fastest button, but with close slash, and the close slash has been hitting counter hit, I believe, in a lot of the cases against Next. Got the curse, got the pop, so that's gonna be a decent amount of plus frames. So even when the stain pops, the curse pops on block, it's gonna generally put you in a situation where you can throw Grave Reaper again, which will be plus at close range, and then, you know, it's a little bit of RPS at that point. Are we gonna get the Crow? Is the opponent gonna reversal out of it? Ooh, nice! Switches sides, get the wall slump as well. Now MoB has a lot of resources to defend with here. Runs straight into the heavy fireball, and we go for the Nostrovia again. This will be big corner carry. Let's see. Again, I think it's the dash cancel combo that MoB would like to sort of follow up with another Crow in order to get another stain pop for this whatchamacallit, for the wall break. But that I think the dash cancel part of the combo has been having some difficulties here. But again, Rozan, give it the pressure. What's next? Tries to jump out, but doesn't quite have the frames to do so. The two S2 heavy Gatling ends up whiffing. Both players swinging with the 2Ks. We were talking about those K buttons. For both of these characters at neutral, K buttons extremely useful. For Testament to prevent the fastest character in the game from running in on you, and for Chip, well, we know about Chip 5K. That 5K, when you manage to make the opponent block your 5K, you know you're at like your best pressure distance, or one of your best pressure distances. Yeah, that combo would have been so big. Let's see if MoB's burst back. No, just willing to take this combo for now. Look at this damage. This is the tightrope combo damage from Chip. Pretty much like, I want to say, like, looks sort of like the same damage as we get from most high damage characters in the game. So even despite being like jack of all trades, class cannon, or I guess not even class cannon, sort of pixie-like of a character, that's definitely gonna kill. Close slash counter hit on a stained opponent. Yeah, there's a lot of options to end it here. And speaking of ending it, MoB is now on his first set point position. Far slash catches, follows it up with a 5D. Now next with 1/3 life left, and perhaps a dream burst as well, but what will you do? Nice dash forward. Oh, no, don't say it isn't so. We were talking about this yesterday, how there's been some connection issues with the server as of recent. This is clearly a burst coming out here, but I wonder, were we just behind in spectate? No, I think, wait, did they actually finish it? Was the spectating just that behind that the burst went on to happen, MoB blocked it, punished, and that was it? I think that the players are also talking about a disconnection here. God, I hope it's not the server last boss that we're fighting here once again. Yeah, I think Nex also realizes that it's, yeah, it was probably a tough situation to come back from. So I guess we are gonna wrap it up here, even though it was at the very end of the set. There are always universes where even with literally 1 hit point, you can make it happen in fighting games. But you know, I guess it's gonna end like this for now. It was a crazy freeze frame though. That burst, I think, was mob neutral there. I blinked and I missed it, and I wasn't sure if the burst was gonna hit or not, but it kind of looked like mob was about to bait it, perhaps. Nevertheless, a very entertaining match despite the score. There's lots of stuff happening back and forth. That would move us to our finish mirror here. Right, Ruby and Lussu next. I should work on my sequencing, to be perfectly honest. It's like once the match is about to finish, it's tough when you're the one both running the event as well as commentating in the event, because like there are usually like super heated moments, super hype moments at the end, and I just love yapping about stuff like that. So then I'm like, wait, we have other matches to play as well, and sort of refusing to move on a moment's notice. But yeah, this will be Lussu's first time on Bounty Hunters here. Ruby, we've seen a couple of times before with the Elfelt. The matchup will be probably played at around mid-range. Even though Elfelt does have pretty decently far-reaching buttons, she's not necessarily like, not quite like Sin, or not quite like, what's another good mid-range character option? Not quite like Kai for sure. Would much more prefer to be up close and personal, mixing them up with, you know, lots of high-lows from the Rekkas. You got your inbuilt mix-up function that is the, what is it called? Chain Lollipop? Is that it? I always want to say Chainsaw Lollipop, but that's a completely different kind of game. But anyway, lots of mix-up potential from that one single move. The Rekka sequence directly borrowed from Blaze Blue. I think Noelle also had exactly the same functionality in one of her special moves. And that Rekka sequence really sort of divides the player base in a way. Like, a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. It's definitely like there's a lot of the, especially in previous patches, there was a lot of power level for Elfelt just sort of attached to, let me switch names as well, attached to one single move. But I think they've done pretty good, a really good job at distributing the power to her other tools as well, as of recent. Alright, the Escabari, which is usually the party starter for Baiken, but which is missing the 5 heavy and going into a throw instead. I wonder if that was what Lussu meant to do there. Or perhaps it's one of those happy little accident kind of situations. We miss our setup, and then we follow up with the fastest thing that we could do, which is the throw. Now from the Rekka, 1-2, drop it, and then go into the cross-up. However, the distance there, I guess not favoring Ruby too much. Lussu able to get that far/9 framer in there. That's a big counter hit, 6 heavy, and since the tether is still attached, allowing some extra combo potential as well. Lussu will have the positive bonus here, and nice read. I think that was not even on reaction, just completely reading that there might be a reset into the Pineberry there. which is of course very strong tool to use if the opponent stays grounded for the most part. The general counterplay tends to be you either jump with Elfeld, strike her air to air, or get the air throw. The air throw is the most common, most consistent option if you are playing the reactive game. Here we go, into the bomb belt. We were talking about those tools that have been distributed power to, and this would be one of them. The high-low will trigger it, and we have another one. Bam! Oh, that doesn't actually quite kill. So the other super might have been the more optimal play here. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it doesn't matter that much whether you go into the next screen with the bomb belt attached or if you kill the opponent outright. It's kind of the same, isn't it? Because the... Wow! Alright, 6P. As Lord, our Lord and Savior Ishiwatari willed them. Hits from behind when the opponent extends their hitbox into it. Frame trap into the Kabari. Now plus frames. More pressure. Ooh, the spacing there, sort of like a whatchamacallit, Street Fighter kind of spacing trap. Even though you are not plus after the heavy version of the Kabari, you can kind of try to space it so that if your opponent presses the wrong button, they're gonna miss you, and then you get a opportunity to punish. Speaking of that, oh, the jump D actually delivers multiple hits here, which will break the wall automatically. The ricochet shot. Ooh, instead of going into the close slash and pressuring point blank, Ruby instead choosing to just double it up, make it really grimy. Play the grenade reset straight from the plus frames of the ricochet shot. There are a lot of different ways to sort of subvert the opponent's expectations. Ooh, that's a 5K. Is it? No! Was that it? Wait a second. Or maybe that's just part of the dash animation there. Was able to block as a result. Nice from the aerial. Or either air-to-air Yozan will be able to pick up the combo and Shakir another round. That's a big counter hit. Jump slash from Baiken. It doesn't really matter if the opponent blocks it on the ground or if you get an air-to-air hit. All of those are generally pretty good. Screws the tracking of the ricochet shot there as well. Into more pressure. Nice backdash covering the throw option. And now Ruby has so much meter to spend here. One hit would be a really good thing to have, but Lussu waking up with a reversal parry option. I think that's the first parry that we've seen so far, so sort of prompting that Lussu is opting to play a little bit safer. It is of course like really risky. If you miss a parry, you put yourself in the same counter hit position. Ooh, nice burst into towards the right corner here. That's the best feeling when the opponent is comboing you and you're like, all right, where am I gonna burst? Am I gonna burst here, and then you vacuum them into the corner and basically get the best kind of situation you could ever hope for. Now, is this gonna go over? Yeah, the grenade will actually go off before Alpha lands into the hitbox. That's kind of how it works. Like, there is really no hitbox from Elfeld herself. She's simply leaping over the grenade, which is the hitbox of the move. Speaking of that, into another. Oh, again, very good timing there on the burst. Putting Ruby in the corner. Close slash won't be able to hit. A lot of grounded normals just can't reach the Pineberry, which is why we usually tell, just go airborne. Oh, this time it's gonna hit. Yeah, it's gonna nullify the grenade. What's gonna happen with the bomb belt? It goes off during the Invu sequence, so that was a very valuable reversal super for Lussu. And now in the best mix-up situation as well, just close slash waits for the burst. Is it gonna be enough? Bounce back, no pickup. Ooh, Ruby's still alive. Up the trade, even despite the blast frames there. Ends up trading. Would have probably been an okay trade for the most part, usually, but in that particular situation when your life is running out, not so much. Now with the tether attached, we're gonna double it up, put ourselves in the corner, doesn't matter, plus frames, got the backdash, but no conversion. It's sometimes really hard in Guilty Gear games when you're catching the opponent with like your best starter or what have you. If they are backdashing or if they are airborne, you're gonna have to convert into some sort of different combo. Ooh, that was kind of interesting angle as well for Ruby. Both players are very loaded on the meter department. The close slash whips, tries to go for another close slash. However, Lussu already got the reversal super queued up, which seems to be, ooh, let's see. Did Lussu hit it? Nope, we're blocking, but we'll also have 100 juice on Ruby's department, so we can actually cancel that. To the other side, close slash. Yeah, the resets are infinite. Is this gonna kill? Yeah. So the bomb belt still does the, whatchamacallit, I think it does not do any extra damage, but it still incurs the basic wall break damage that you would usually get. So technically, like, very minuscule amount of damage. So of course, if you are looking at the nice 6p there, very deep dash, that's sort of one very, ooh, it's a big one, close slash, air to air. We go into basically half of Lussu's life, and now attack the bomb belt again. This time Lussu doesn't have the 50 meter to reversal right away. So what are actually the conditions to explode the bomb belt prematurely? I think it's the Rekka high, the Rekka low, as well as Pineberry, right? Those are the triggers that can make the bomb belt sort of explode immediately and get a super good conversion out of it. Speaking of super good conversion, 6p. I think the grenade is exploding on the ground, but the immo frames will be enough to persevere past that. Wait, that actually broke the wall? Hello? That was like only slightly past mid-screen there. However, Ruby does catch in the follow-up situation, taking the round back. Are going back-to-back here. 3-2 now. Ruby having a small lead here. I'm actually surprised. Doesn't it feel like Lussu has actually been on the driver's seat much more than Ruby? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining things. It's really, it's a big chess match, honestly, because both of the players, like, they have stuff that they would love to do at neutral, which does not include running in and pressing buttons necessarily. Like, as Viking player, you would love if the opponent would run into your tatami mats, which you can see Lussu is kind of moving backwards, doing neutral jump, throwing those tatamis, like saying, please come into these tatami mats. I would love to not play neutral. And then on the other hand, Ruby on Elfeld has stuff like the ricochet shots that can give you massive amount of frame advantage if the opponent does not block them normally. Ooh, air to air, big combo coming here. Always convert into the Pineberry instead of your Rekkas if you can for maximum damage, which is pretty much what Ruby has been doing here for the most part. Swinging a miss with the 6p this time. Ah, there we go. Again, the tatami, and then afterwards, of course, you're gonna make a choice. Where is the opponent gonna come from? There we go, this time using the right super. This should be a kill no matter what. No! Never mind! It does not matter. This is... that's so frustrating. In that situation, it would have been better to follow up with the bomb belt. Nice 2p jab on the follow-up of the edge kabare there. I'm actually mind-fucked. That super for Elfeld does not do too much damage, does it? I guess that's why Ruby, like, I feel like I've been criticizing Ruby for missing the reversal super kill sometimes on the wall, but in fact I think it's Ruby's just playing it right? Because they know it's not gonna do that much damage anyway, so play it safe and get the bomb belt conversion instead, or the bomb belt install. So then, if it was to whiff, or rather, if it was to not kill the opponent, yeah, we can just go into this. And now, what are we gonna go? Afterwards, the reversal parry is an option for sure if the opponent goes for just a meaty. I think this will be a safe grenade, right? This time, hopping over, the grenade explodes on the ground into a big combo. 1, 2. I think omitting the third Rekka there on purpose in order to not break the wall too early, which is usually a good optimization if you realize that you can't break the wall with a super and you can't go into your best win-con situation. Just drop them in the corner. It's going to be much better position rather than letting them go back to neutral from the extended round start. Nice block there. And the burst punish combo, putting Lussu in the corner. very, very conservative with the reversal parries. I feel like we've seen like 2 or 3 reversal parries so far in this whole set. There we go with a big explosion from the projectile. I wonder, is the projectile also one of the tools that can explode the bomb belt on a successful hit? Ooh, the jump D. The angle wasn't quite good enough for Ruby here. I haven't seen it quite whiff like that, but Lussu was on top of it, ready to take their turn back. The shots run back and forth. It's actually Lussu who ends up oh no! The miss of the combo! Now the 50 meter is gonna be gone for now, and Lussu will be the one who will build the 51st. Plus frames from this one. However, are we gonna conversion? The angle is a little awkward here for Lussu, trying to work their best magic in order to get a successful conversion. There we go, the deep dash to counter the back jump tatami once again, but it won't be enough. Lussu in the end. What a back and forth. Especially during these tense moments when both players are really low health. It feels like it's so hard to get the successful conversion, especially when the opponent just doesn't want to be there, wants to like maybe backdash, wants to jump away, and then the hits that you're scoring are really hard to convert, or they're just like slightly unstandard kind of hits that you might not be ready for. But this is rather standard pressure here. YRC at the end. We still have the tether attached, which could pose a problem if you don't know how the physics of the tether work in the framework of your combo paths. Ooh, this is gonna whiff. Into good 1-2, drop them. Ooh, interesting. Lussu kinda taking kinda guessing that that's not gonna be a real setup, so jumping out of there. Grenade reset once again, should get the kill, yes indeed. Ruby. An important game here in question. Nice 6B, and we've seen those good 6B conversions already from Ruby. Like generally many characters are not gonna get that much, but if you get a very high 6B counter hit as Elfeld, you can have a couple of really nice or either like a really nice sequence of juggling. I think rather than damage, you would much rather have a corner carry from your 6B usually, and the grenade conversions definitely provide that. Burst immediately, yep, you would have probably been dead on the next hit. And now missing the ender there, unfortunately for Lussu, missing the reversal parry as well. And then I think I saw another parry again, but that was that a red parry? It kind of looked like a mistimed red parry during the sequence there at the very end. Which of course, you know, that time nobody was home. Ruby was actually leaping with that grenade past Lussu's head. As happens here as well. Couple of grenades, 1, 2. If we got the stock, no, not quite. To the other side, and the other side. Where is this character going? From left to right, right to left. You gotta be so ready. Like even when you're being comboed, there is an opportunity for the opponent to technically double it up, end the combo and reset. And if you're not ready to deal with that, you might like take so much damage in a couple of following sequences. Right, once again with the Rika sequence, just presses the glow slash on wake up. Lots of heart on that decision here. Ooh, reversal parry on your own offense. Was pretty sure that Ruby would have pressed here. Not sure what the frame situation coming down from that Yozan was, but combining it with the tatami mat in the follow-up situation, and especially with the tether included, will be too much to anti-air for Ruby this time. However, Ruby does get a really nice anti-air in the follow-up situation. Immediately burst from Lussu. Ooh, throw into the corner. And now we're mixing. Pick your defensive option. What are we gonna do? There's so much stuff to take care of. The grenade resets, the high-lows from the Rekkas. The Rekkas could go into throws as well. There's just, it's overwhelming to block. Here's the reversal option, but I think this time Ruby did take note of how many resources Lussu had, because Lussu had a very nice reversal super out of this exact situation earlier in the set. And now, when he had it again, it was like, yep, that's I think that's gonna happen now. So let's block it and just take the round like that. Both players playing the air game with the weird physics caused by the tether. Right, it is time to use the burst this time. The ricochet not quite making contact there. I think it's usually you want to shoot it over the opponent's head, which will make it come back horizontally, which will make it kind of hard to avoid. Another really good deep dash into a 6B. That has been like one of the go-to best fundamental tools that Ruby has been using in this matchup, in my opinion. As you should never let Baiken just nice, perfect timing. Lussu was actually going for the classic, the instant air dash over Yozan cross up. Whether that is blocked or hit, it doesn't matter. It is such a good situation for Baiken. And this time Ruby was ready to 6-speed behind them with a really perfect timing as well. All right, with the BMB combo, we want to break the wall. Oh, or maybe not. We're gonna truck here instead of getting the wall slump, which will of course put Lussu in a better situation in terms of options. But now Ruby, this is actually the set point position for Ruby, so one more hit could be it. Jump deep plus frames. Oh, here comes the Yozan. I'm not sure if that hit from back or the front, and probably Ruby did neither. Is the gold burst pushes Lussu so far away. Reversal super, is it gonna hit? I think this hits, right? Yes, successfully gets out of the grenade. Ruby has so much meter. Yeah, I think this hits, right? And even if it doesn't, Ruby has enough meter to RC as well. It's kind of one of those situations where when you're like, all right, one hit point on opponent, I have 100 meter. Why should I not reversal super? It's basically safe. As long as your super has some amount of invo frames, if it whiffs, all right, just go for the PRC, because like it doesn't function like DPs do. DPs, you can never RC if they whiff, but supers really don't obey those rules at all, which makes having 100 meter so important, so powerful if you just wanna at all costs reverse the flow of the situation. All right, Ruby will get that W 7-3 here in a very interesting match. Into the next one. This was actually, we didn't talk much about this in the intersection. Gonna follow it up with another Baiken match. And a completely different momentum here, because the opponent is gonna be that guy, that grappler Potemkin. Players of both of these characters probably pretty happy with the direction that the game has taken as of recent. Of course, Potemkin had that one patch, that Season 4 patch, where you got a lot of new stuff. You got your armor frames to Buster. You got a couple of other things as well. But you got your Karas removed. But then in the most current patch of the game, we just got the Karas back. Like Potemkin players, like, as if there were no downsides to the buffs in Season 4. Got basically everything back, and Potemkin players have been pretty ecstatic. But it's not just Potemkin, it's Baiken as well has been like slowly buffed up over time, and I think especially some of the latest changes have been really nice for her. So two characters that are kind of cruising in the current patch. Funny thing, like since the Potemkin, or rather since the last patch, we haven't really seen too many Potemkin players on Bounty Hunters, so this would be one of the first ones where we can see the full power of this behemoth, this absolute unit that is Potemkin.
Society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts.
The opponent is going to be Baiken. So the cool thing is, like, the go-to, or rather the unique defensive tools that Baiken possesses, being the, of course, the reversal parry. Very vulnerable to throws, And this guy here does have a thing or two to do with throws. By starting up with a very committed option there. If the opponent wants to hit any buttons that he tackle, generally catches. But downside is if the opponent does not hit anything, you're gonna land straight on their face and they're gonna get a close slash starter, which tends to be the kind of lights out conversion type of Guilty Gear Strive. Generally, characters are gonna do their biggest damage out of those close slash starters. Ooh, this time the heat tackle RC works well. Jumping out of the slide head, coming down with the jump D, but the disjoint, the perfect spacing there, making sure that you are not below Potemkin when that jump D comes out. One of the most important things. A couple of different options. You could use the same plan as Lunacy did here and be just airborne, very spaced distance, use disjoints, or you could just stand on the ground, wait for Potemkin to go into landing frames, and then punish it like that. Ooh, but we were talking about the reversal parry. However, that's not the only function of this move Hiraki here. Now, Viking players did gain an ability to use it as a red parry, quotations. What that means is you can input the parry during block stun as well, and it comes out as sort of a pseudo guard, guard cancel, which allows Viking to go into dash cancel and into some nice plus frames at close range. So definitely more layers to Viking's defensive game here. Alright, trying to get maximum hits here from the Gigantor as we're going through the wall. Slight hit, plus frames. Ooh, to the other side and down with the jump D. Kind of a dive kick function there. Halting your momentum in the air for just a little while, making Lunacy with her button there. I think that was that a 6B or a close slash? One of those I think I saw. Ooh, it's a big one. It's gonna send Lunacy tumbling towards the corner. And the corner is a dangerous, dangerous place. Of course, as many characters, as pretty much all characters, you're gonna get some extra juice to your B&B damage routes. Looking up the reversal parry. Gonna structure your pressure according to the new, the new buster changes. A lot of people, like the sort of go-to defensive tool to beat for Potemkin used to be the back Mega Fist, which would put Potemkin airborne really fast and sort of make Potemkin able to jump through a lot of stuff. The tool to beat in the current patches tends to be the armored buster. What's the damage from that 5D conversion? God. Weed is going absolutely crazy. Trying to get the buster here. And the 6B is on time, putting Weed on a 2-0 lead. This is looking like definitely the kind of Potemkin play that a lot of us are used to, utilizing the fact that you have so much more health than the opponent. So it's actually pretty okay to swing for the fences. If it sinks, if it hits, you know, you're gonna take so much life from the opponent, and if it doesn't, well, you're still one of the beefiest characters in the game. So, oh, Lunacy brings it back with the fully charged 5D. You use that on me, I'm gonna use that on you as well. Doesn't get the full, like the biggest value, the ender there, which usually causes like a pseudo heart knockdown kind of a thing. The jump cancel. Do we get the 6B? Yes, indeed. I was thinking it was might have been the parry there. 6B does work as well. Getting thrown. RC. Are we gonna burst? Yes, indeed. Now the last hit. Any hit is gonna be it, and 2D is the option that sweeps the floor for Weed. Lots of really far-reaching buttons for Potemkin. 5 heavy, 2D. The problem for Potemkin usually is that they're very unsafe on whiff. So even if you have like surprisingly nasty reach for a grappler, speaking of the grappling, this is gonna be it. This will force the wall break. But that ain't gonna be enough quite yet. Lunacy working the 50 tension. Firing it off completely into the distance. The opponent does have to be relatively close for that to explode. And then the trade at the end there with the massive amount of life lead that Weed has. That's gonna be 3 in a row.
Duel 1.
Now Lunacy is trying to find her first point here. Ooh, that slides forward so much. I don't think I've seen that, like, in whatchamacallit. I haven't really seen live footage of how far that Karabuster goes, but man, it goes pretty far, doesn't it? It still goes as far as it used to, right? To the other side, lots of plus frames from the yaws, and I think despite, like, no matter how high it connects with the opponent, it's usually gonna be at least, like, plus enough for a Viking to press the buttons. And with the blue wild assault, we're mixing into the instant overhead. Not quite enough meter to get the hard knockdown here, but Lunacy with a decent life lead. Gotta be very careful though, because Weed is willing to swing wide. Ooh, that was kind of cool. So the heat tackle tag. Wait, hello! Going through to the other side, get the throw and get the kill. Now we're cooking. Perhaps the time when Lunacy comes online there. The 9-frame far slash getting there before the heat. I think I saw a heat tackle from Weed. So is the armor frame like very delayed then? Allowing moves like 9-framers get there before it even goes active. First towards the corner, gotta be really careful here. Multiple hits being landed, breaking the armor of Weeds. Into a basic setup, yep, and no respect this time from the opponent. That will put Lunacy on the board. Definitely not too late. It's only 4 games so far. Lots of opportunities to adjust still. And I think there is definitely a lot to adjust for this wild game. I was about to say wild gameplay, but look at that, missing the gold burst straight into the buster, and then the conversion. We still have 50 meter here. Oh, but the armor frames, it does not matter, even if you were on time. Technically in the old batch. Gonna armor through this time around. Put them back into the crown. Very, whatchamacallit. You invest into your future conversions with that up crap, the heat knuckle. Even if it's blocked by the opponent, you're gonna pull them basically into a strike throw mix-up with massive amount of risk. This time, nice jump out of the command grab. It's Lunacy's time to maybe fight back to the other side using the follow-up of the heavy kabari. And now, what are we gonna do with that meter? Plus frames from the roll. Blue wild assault, the new shiny thing that Potemkin has. Now, instead of not a red one, white one. Just commits into it. Immediate burst from Lunacy. Oh, again! The perfect spacing. Maybe even disjoint from that distance. Both of the moves collide, but Biken ends up not taking a hit from that heat tackle. That's kind of cool to say, because I play a character who generally tends to extend their hurt box into it. So I'm in a mind space where if I extend any of my buttons into that heat tackle, it's probably gonna go in Potemkin's favor. So it's kind of cool to see these moves from other characters can fare a little bit better on that regard. This is definitely gonna be a kill, forcing the wall break. And Weed is gonna move on to 4 points here. Still the same 3-game lead conundrum as we had in the previously here for Lunacy. Oh my god, that reaches so far. Even despite that backdash out of the pressure situation, it still connects. However, here's Lunacy's response. This time Weed respecting the initial tatami mat, which will basically put you in a high-low situation, especially if the opponent has meter ready to go. And, or we could guess for reversals and or bursts. So paying 50 mil. Nice, I love that, going with that too heavy on the landing there. We were talking about all the options that you could have against Potemkin coming down from the sky, and that is definitely one. You could, try to low profile or try to time your strike so that Potemkin is actually landing from moves like from jump D, for example. Right, through the wall. We're building decent amount of tension here. Nice whiff punish that with the super. Might have not been what was primarily on Lunacy's mind, but we definitely take it. Almost leading into a killing conversion. Back throw though. The saving grace here is that we does not have the meter. I was about to say he needs the meter to put on these massive, you know, upwards of 50% damage combos on the board. Tried to go for the gold burst to procure the 100 meter, which could have been lights out on the next touch. But you know, when you gamble, you sometimes lose. And this time the gold burst was not meant to happen. The corner pressure. How do we get out of here? Weed with the jumps is closing a lot of the air pads. Nice. Waits for the buster. It's gonna come out eventually if you stay passive. It's literally the hard counter. Ooh, TK gunshot comes out with the cheeks. I'm wondering, that's a strange situation. I don't think I've ever seen anybody being thrown so high up from the TK gunshot. All right, that's okay. Maybe that's actually good for Lunacy because you have such a massive life lead here. I was about to say that doesn't seem to align in terms of like overall damage distributed, but because of the health situation, I think that was exactly what Lunacy wanted. Able to dodge the 6 heavy, but the spacing is really precarious against Potemkin. You want to be far enough so that buttons like, you know, 2D, 5 heavy, 6 heavy would whiff, but not so far that you can't whiff punish those. So if you hang back too, you know, on the other side of the screen, you might have to take too many dash steps to get there after you see the whiff. So I think the spacing is super important. But nice with the instant overhead. And if we get the wall break, yes indeed, that should be enough. Lunacy is looking like running it back. Suddenly only one game differentiating the two players. 4-3. It took a while to warm up, but man, we're definitely looking like we're warmed up here. Might have also been the, you know, the extremely wild options that Weed tends to bring to the table that you kind of have to like see a couple of times so that you can, you know what you have to adjust to in the future, in the upcoming rounds. So the upcoming situation is going to be through the wall. Weed does not have 50 meter to try to Heavenly Potemkin Buster out of there. Another, ooh, there we go with the crab. And also spend 50 meter on it. Can take a wall break, yes indeed. So 70% life from a Buster RC, as well as positive bonus. Definitely, I would say not too bad. I would definitely take that most of the time. Despite still Lunacy playing the follow-up situation extremely well, and with that early life advantage that she was able to procure, bring that run home. Here's the gold burst once again. I'm actually surprised how Weed has managed to like play most of his bursts as gold bursts. It's a very traditional way of playing Guilty Gear, I would say. It tended to be like in the past, it was mostly the difficulty of being able to pull off like a reversal gold burst, for instance, which was technically a 1-frame, 2-frame timing or something like that. Like, if possible, you would always gold burst because that. Ooh, nice! Between the slashes. And now into potentially successful or you know, decisive pressure sequence. We're going in it again. But Lunacy perseveres 2 times in a row. Frame trap into the wild assault. Could this kill maybe? With the tether attached, deems that it was not quite yet time to burn everything. Ooh, slides in the strike that the strike that connects with the armor frame, and then Weed piercing out of it. Deflect shield to negate the potential mix-up from Baiken. I think both these players have mix-up situations that are, you know, you would much rather spend the 50 burst to deflect shield out of it. For Potemkin, it tends to be the the Garuda. That is it, the Garuda Oki. If you can get the deflect shield on it, it's gonna push Potemkin so far that there's no counterplay afterwards. And for Baiken, it's of course the high-low between TK Yozan and the lows. Successful reversal out of it. This will bring the life bars roughly even, but look at this meter for Weed. Wait, hello, what was that? Very close to 50 now. RC is possible. Forcing the pressure. Again, really nice read for Lunacy. These buster reads have been starting to work out really well for Lunacy. However, wasn't able to transition into successful pressure afterwards. It's one thing to just, you know, in the heat of the moment to jump out of those command grabs, but it's completely next level to also get a successful punish and then transition into a good combo and or a hard knockdown. Like in the heat of the moment when you're panicking, that can be kind of hard thing to do, right? Alright, into the throw, here we go. Tether attached, which way it's gonna be? There's just so many options that you could mix up with. I think the primary option usually gonna be the left-right. Oh my god, the Kara Buster chasing even with the backdash. Nasty, nasty stuff. Again, a very important... Yeah, there we go again. I think Weed was trying to go for the heat tackle for the armor move, but Lunacy unleashing that 9-frame bar slash, preventing that armor frame from going active. And now, breaking the wall. Really looking forward to that 50 meter here, which we do have. There we go, the spacing was perfect there. I think Lunacy has been grabbed from that exact same situation a couple of times, but this time able to... I'm not sure if it's just about tinkering the sort of the spacing, or if there's like a timing RPS there as well. Going under, wow. Lunacy dropping the target in the corner. And now we got the mix-up situation available. However, Veed was backdashing there, and the classic conundrum of Guilty Gear. If your opponent is airborne, you're probably gonna need a slightly different kind of Gatling and or a combo. Ooh, who's throwing who through the Buster frames? Wait, the Buster hitbox only extends forward, not behind you. So you can't, I think that's been happening so many times already. Lunacy has used that follow-up from the heavy Kabari to skip to the other side and beat the Buster, but it's not gonna beat it this time. Equal situation. Here comes Weed looking for that one more hit. 2D into Hammerfall is gonna be enough. So that means Weed is gonna move into a very, very dangerous position here. 6 against Lunacy's 3. Now, we had a similar kind of situation before where Weed was 3 games up on Lunacy, and then Lunacy managed to completely bring it back. Oh my goodness. What was that? I gotta say, Weed has to be one of the craziest players that we've had the pleasure of, you know, watching on Bounty Hunters. Some of those plays do miss, but I think at least 75% scientific exact percentages here like tend to just sink in and look so cool. It looks so cool when it's successful as well. Now Lunacy, ooh, good 6P, good anti-airing, as you should have against Baiken. There we go once again. Trusting the old faithful instant air dash jump slash, gets the stuff started, tries to heavily Potemkin Buster out of the corner. However, I think it was combined with a PRC and the timing wasn't quite there. Looking like drifting forward, is that gonna be it? No burst available, I think that's gonna be it. The massive damage of the Heat Knuckle will end the set in Weed's favor. 7-3 was really great comeback attempt from Lunacy. It looked really, really dangerous, being at 3-0, 4-1 situation, able to fight back. At one point, it was 4-3, and looking like it's gonna be, you know, it still has makings of a really good match. So really good on Lunacy, fighting it back. And goddamn, Weed. Crazy, crazy plays. Another really entertaining set for us tonight. Now, next one, we're gonna have sort of the highest, the highest skill level match of the evening, which would be between Jalis and Diego. It's been a while since we saw jalis on bounty hunters. One of the most colorful faces in the Finnish FGC. Has been mostly playing Abba, I think, since the advent of the character. But this is a player capable of piloting a couple of other characters as well. Started his career on Nagoryuki, of course, but has since transitioned to a couple of other also very hard-hitting characters. Now, speaking of hard-hitting stuff, Abba, of course, not necessarily like for like pound for pound damage, maybe like not the toppest damage that you can score in the game for like your highest hitting damage combos. However, Abba is not necessarily about always the highest damage. It's like the damage is high, don't get me wrong. Every single combo is gonna do a shit ton of damage, especially if you're in your install mode. The question is rather how often can you spend time in that mode, because when you are in your install mode, every single hit is kind of like being a happy chaos. It's gonna convert so well. You're gonna have some constraints in terms of your unique resources, like sometimes happy chaos during your combo. You might run out of bullets, you might run out of concentration. Same thing for Abba, you might run out of the jelly meter, but then you can use your other resources to fix it. You could route into like an RC, go out of the mode, go back into the mode with the key grab, and just resume the play from there. Johnny, on the other hand, whereas Abba kind of has to work her way in, has to interact with the opponent, maybe build her unique resources in order to install, Johnny does have some hoops that he has to jump through to get to his win condition first, but those are achieved pretty easily. Generally, you're talking about using the deal in order to put the hydrogen bomb that's gonna explode on impact onto the ground, installing it on the stage, and then if your opponent gets hit by that, blocks that, doesn't matter. All of it is super good because it is a guard crush. And guard crush is sort of a swear word in the in the Guilty Gear Strive community. Tends to be like all my homies hate guard crush, but the characters that are rocking it definitely are loving it. And Johnny is one of those characters who can loop the guard crush if the opponent doesn't find a way to RPS out of it. So the advantage at round start definitely going in Johnny's favor. We not only have another one of those really good 9-frame far slashes, one of the best round start buttons in the game for sure for Johnny, which has been historically the case. Johnny's far slash has always been really good. But not only that, you do control the space much better than Abba. Abba has serious mobility issues before she gets into the install mode. The cool thing about the normal mode for Abba is that if you manage to get close to your opponent, it's actually surprisingly good for pressure. You have buttons such as like far slash that tend to, in the context that you would like to use them usually, like Abba's normal mode far slash isn't really a far slash. It's more like a close slash plus, where it moves you forward and allows you to cancel into other things. Allows you to maintain distance with your opponent when you are in that pressure situation. And then you have tools like, you know, Kara key grab that can, you know, can allow you to stick to your opponent, keep up with the frame advantage in order to try to fish for an opening to then go into your mix-up mode that is the install, the Jealous Rage. So I think like something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is that the normal mode is for pressure and the install mode is for mix-ups. And I guess damage. I mean, both the modes do pretty decent damage, but of course, the follow-up ability, is that a word in English? The ability to follow up your hits on normal mode is definitely reduced compared to the install. Alright, but Jalis, for the first time in a while, coming out of the... Jalis has been there. Jalis has been actually playing the game quite a bit recently, which is interesting. We've had some of the top players, such as Raigand May, such as Shady. You know, they haven't been playing this game too much as of, as of December, right? Since install, they're like... Some of the top hitters have not been playing this game so much in Finland, but Jalis on the other hand, I see Jalis, you know, applying for the matchmaking system almost every day. This guy has been definitely playing fighting games, while it's been a little dry and quiet on the Finnish FGC front. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Gets knocked by the Mistfire immediately after installing. Ooh, dancing around, using 50 meter in order to make it a slightly more ambiguous in terms of what's gonna happen. Nice jump. There we go, a big counter hit. Yeah, knows that that's probably a good idea to burst, because like if you let that combo run from that counter hit 5 heavy, Jalis is gonna build enough jelly in order to be able to activate afterwards. Now on contact, ooh, it's gonna be no challenge there. Interesting. So the tilt, the overhead tool for Abba in Jealous Rage mode, if you manage to actually block it, if you manage to block it overhead, it is -2 for Abba, which will usually give you an option to RPS further. Oh, that's still gonna track? Keeper of the Key is such a good tool. Look at that. Hitting Diago airborne, juggling into a conversion, even though there was no trade. I think on the ground, generally, you're looking for the trade to be able to get into like a really sick conversion. Was that a Mistfire -15 move punished there? I think I saw correctly. Jalis blocking it close enough. Following up with an install. Ooh, that was probably not what Jalis wanted to do there. 6 heavy, not the most common move. Gotta cancel into Keeper of the Key, and then the overhead. That's gonna be a kill, right? No, Jalis actually taking it safe here, uninstalling instead of going for the broke. Now, what this achieves is that once Jalis managed to go back to neutral, there is an option to install successfully into 5 minutes of jelly. 5 seconds of jelly again, as the full Jealous Rage gauge is a full 10 seconds. But no opportunity to get into that install at any point. I think Johnny is super good at keeping Abba in the normal mode. Because like in this range, alright, if the opponent whiffs Mistfire, then maybe you have enough time to install, right? But otherwise, if you try to go for a raw install and the opponent like Mistfires you as reaction, that's terrible. That means you're gonna be blocking pressure in your install mode, the timer is running out, and you're probably gonna end up popping and losing because of that. But now Jalis still holds on to that install. Here we go, big hit! And we have so many resources as well for Jalis. This should be good if we route correctly. Yes, indeed! Activate with the hardest hitting super. The reversal one puts you back into the mode. And now 50 meter F-Shiki, there we go! And then conversion. Oh no, wall stick actually. We're going into the next guess. And this is super important reversal super. This will actually make Jalis pop, I think. Waste time here. Yeah, make sure that the combo persists for a couple more seconds. If you just let the super rock, I think Jalis might be able to wake up with the install mode still active. But pushing forward with the normal mode, as a result, both players 0 hit points. Jalis finds a way to get there against Johnny of all characters. That was only the first game, wasn't it? Once again, the first game chess match. I mean, it's very common. These are super high level people, so usually like players who are known to play on, you know, competitive fronts such as, you know, tournaments and what have you, usually don't just force their own game plan immediately. They're gonna kind of feel you out, see like what kind of stuff you do, take it a little slower, and once that data has been acquired, then you can iterate that into your own game plan. If you don't check what the opponent wants to do, if you just, you know, enforce your own game plan and just go in, you're actually not gonna necessarily find all the information that you're looking for. I mean, sure, it might work out for you, and the opponent might not be able to play at all. Speaking of, he always tries to play here, trading unsuccessfully into Johnny's buttons. Guard crush, another, oh, that was a bluff. You can't exactly safely just deal into the guard crush. You usually have to follow it with a dash and go into your normals. Good reversal super should kill here, even though Abba is one of the heavier characters. This little amount of damage should be shaved away by the J. Ooh, that's a lot of dragging the key forward. Normal dashes into a command dash. You kind of have to predict it in a way, because the command dash is very low profile. So if you swing with buttons such as like far slash or horizontal misfire, I think Abba will just go under those. So you would have to commit to buttons such as like 2S from Johnny, which is, I mean, not a huge commitment per se, which is, wouldn't you say? Because it's such a good button, and it's kind of hard to whip punish as well. Keeper of the key, my turn. My turn now! Low, into high, into decent combo. We have still a couple of seconds left. What is Jalis's move here? Presses the... Ooh, nice! Got the uninstall! That's great for Jalis! Now we have that, like, 6-5 seconds of Jelly ready to be used. Unless, if we go back into the situation, if Diago doesn't let Jalis play at all. Nice, comes down from the other side. Immediate cancel into the super. Jalis successfully perseveres this time around. Because we had one of those rounds earlier where Jalis was like, all right, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna uninstall and sort of disengage, and then Diago just gave Jalis no remorse for that. It is like a type of style of play that I'm not used to seeing from Jalis. Because we know Jalis as like a absolutely shit madness crazy kind of a player that loves to do, you know, high risk but also high reward plays. But now this time around, Jalis is actually playing it very safe. Oh, that's a... No, never mind. I thought that was a far slash into an F-Shiki. Yeah, we have to burst here. Throw the card. Oh, let me see. Let me show you my super. This super will make you block so long that you're gonna take a mix-up afterwards. But look at this, Diago. Both of the mix-ups successfully blocked, and now the reward is that Jalis pops. And Jalis pops hard. There is still burst coming back for Jalis soon. But bursting here would burst you into, yeah, zero jelly. What are you gonna do? It does absolutely nothing. Jalis kind of had to do it to persevere the combo that was coming, but it's still, we're dragging the key forward ever so slowly. Oh, what was that, a double jump? Rare footage of Johnny's close slash actually whiffing on anything. Are you kidding me? If I see that frame where Jalis is jumping forward in normal mode ABBA, and Diago is neutral on the ground, I'll put all of my money on Diago. Like 6P, close slash, there are just so many good tools that Johnny could use there. But there must have been like a double jump from Jalis to sort of change your timing there in the air. Because Diago ended up completely whipping the timing there on the anti-air. Ooh, this is good for Diago. Keep the opponent in your combo while the jelly is ticking down. Now Jalis will have time to play on this stage shift here, but it's only for a couple of seconds. Yeah, there we go. Finds the combo again. Pop. We can do close slash. And Diago is so high on meter as well. Yeah. Ooh, wait. Use the far slash there. I think Jalis was still sliding forward from the command dash, which maintains low profile frames for quite a long time. So would have had to strike low there in order to catch it cleanly. Far slash catches tilt. Tilt is one of those tools that you can use in normal mode in order to try to skip into the opponent's guard. Whoa, that's a grind. I think that's not optimal necessarily, but that's you gotta show those left rights once in a while. Those tools that you're not gonna play all the time, but are gonna catch your opponent once or twice, or maybe even 3 times in a set. Would I come to my card? No? Then I'll come to you. I'll put the card under your feet. So close to 50 meter. instead using the Wild Assault in order to make sure that we get the kill. Might as well when it's the last round and the opponent is bleeding out of every single orifice in their body. All right, we are on the board here for Diago. And man, it's gonna be about that, you know, when are you gonna use your defensive resources, how to make jalis pop successfully, and then after that, how to out neutral, how to keep away Abba from ever being able to do anything from this pop situation. Yeah. Because even the Keeper of the Key that you could play here on normal mode is kinda kittens, right? Doesn't really do any damage, doesn't really get you in either, unless you're point blank already. Oh, speaking of being point blank, here we go. Access the mix-ups. Too heavy into, wow, 2S. Was thinking maybe Diago wanted to jump out there. There we go, 1-2, gonna pop. That's gonna be a safe pop, and we can drag ourselves into the pressure range here. Far slash, unfortunately not reaching. The far slash is tiny pressure move. You kind of have to be point blank already to mix. Ooh, the downside. Yep. The tool that beats all reversals. First time I see jalis actually rocking that as a pressure tool. But I think it's a good idea. Downside is one of those moves that take a lot of time in terms of animation to finish, so it's gonna waste a lot of your jelly. It's very expensive move in terms of jealousy gauge, so you don't want to swing it willy-nilly. You want to make sure that your opponent is probably reversaling when you do it, right? Because it's very, like, even if you swing it on normal block, on point blank, opponent can FD and make it not as great, even though it's technically plus on block. But now once again, Diago finding a hit on Jealous Abba. A very dangerous proposition here. Don't even need the card. We're gonna take the wall. And not just the wall, but also with a super. So this will reduce jalis' life quite a bit, but we still have our victory condition ready to go. Deflect shield, completely read by Diago once again. Instant overhead from that TK Mistfinder, finds a kill, and Diago evens it up. Yeah, the two first, like, the first game was kind of chess. The second game was kind of really oppressive jalis gameplay. And then the two games after that, slowly swinging in favor of Diago.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
If this was a tournament set, this would be it. But this is a completely different kind of medium here. FT7, this is only the first steps, only the data gathering space, what's it called? Data gathering step. jalis still holding on to just a little bit of that jelly. The most important thing is to have at least 25. Ooh, it's gonna be baited. But again, I think, like, the health that jalis has on Abba is inconsequential. The jealousy gauge is the more important part. As long as you draw breath, as long as you have at least one hit point left, it's the jelly that matters. It governs how long you can keep your pressure sequences going. I mean, this time, not being able to get out of the pressure sequence, but technically, if you were pressured with no jealousy there, that would just be over. You probably wouldn't be ever able to make a comeback at all. Now clean 10 seconds here, jalis. Ooh, doesn't dash deep enough. I think wanted to probably space that tilt so that it doesn't end up in the throwable space of the opponent, right? That's gonna be a natural pop, so no jealousy gauge refunded back to jalis there. Would have to go on for like a manual uninstall to be able to get some of that back. So generally how that works, if you manually uninstall, you are gonna get back 50% of the jealousy that you just spent during your mode. So up to 5 seconds of free gauge. Ooh, bang, and OTG, yes indeed, going with the highest, the hardest hitting move, which I suppose is gonna be the downfinder. And Diago, for the first time in this set, on the driver's seat. Is that is that just it? Was that the adjustment? Is the fate of Jalis set here? I think the answer is probably not, for this character. Abba is so explosive, and like, even though she is kind of like quotations easy to control for a keep away character like Johnny, or either a character who has capabilities of keeping the opponent packed back for a very long time and locking them down. Ooh, immediate burst. But Diag was ready to take that. Greedy, take everything, take the life, take the burst as well. Might as well. Just with the double jump, yeah. Often enough, when you're jumping forward as normal mode Alba, you can't really commit into a lot of buttons unless you're above your opponent. Then you have like good RPS with jump D, which is like the dive kick kind of move coming down. Same as Potemkin jump D, sort of. But unless you get to that, like unless you are above your opponent, you can't really, on a good conscience, press jump in buttons unless you're really sure that they're gonna land. Oh, Jalis went for a really risky install here. And Diago is there to completely catch it. And now pop into despair. Guard crush. Deal more. Yeah, and how are you gonna get out of that deal? I mean, you could probably swing 5 heavy, which is like half screen distance. Super hard read. But if the opponent is not bluffing, if the opponent is not dealing, then yeah, you're probably just gonna get caught. Two really Diago advantageous games here, back to back. It kind of feels like the momentum has just turned completely. Jalis will have to find some sort of adjustment here.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
Or maybe just needs to find more opportunities. I think Jalis is a heart player for sure. So maybe it's just about getting more opportunities, getting to play more. Because usually when Jalis plays, it works out. There we go. We were talking about that 5 heavy against those deals. But I don't think it's something that you can do on reaction per se. It's kind of just something you have to feel that is coming and then swing into it. And when you swing into it, you get to play. You get to play the game like crazy, because it's one of the best mix-up / pressure characters in the game. Even in the normal mode, being plus frames and with that 50 meter, so many options available for Jalis. Yeah, those are the situations that we need more. Committed, round start, command dash, under the far slash. You gotta use it. I think you absolutely gotta use it in this matchup. That far slash is one of the strongest in the game. Sometimes you get a gamble. And now the pop. Gamble does not pay off this time into a throw. This is nasty. Yo, into another throw. All right. I think is that safe against reversal super maybe? Is why Diago did that? Question mark? This should kill though, right? Bam, through the wall. Wall break damage as well. Big numbers. Ooh, there we go, into a big combo. Jalis has the, Jalis has the routing as well. 10 seconds, Jelly. I have to break it with a normal here, but generally I think Abba doesn't care that much, because you're so favored to win the neutral as long as you are in your install. F-Shiki hits here, immediate burst. However, I don't think, I mean, it's kind of like a damn if you do, damned if you don't kind of a situation. You have to burst there to save yourself, but then what is coming? Keeper of the key, and you can't escape it. 8 seconds left on the jealousy. Even though Diago has the pressure here, Jalis will have like 4-ish seconds of jealousy left, and 50 meter as well, so there could be some reversals here. YRC is an option as well. Burst too. Yep, burst comes out. And now it's definitely in Diago's best interest. I mean, you could just kill. I was about to say, it's definitely in Diago's best interest to try to keep up the combo going as long as it takes for you to draw that jelly out of Abba, so that you make sure that she pops. But I mean, at the end of the round, you could just forget about all of that. Just kill. Kill! Like the guy said once in a TV program.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of
Right, Diago, lots of momentum here. 3 in a row. Where's that adjustment? What is the thing that we gotta do? I mean, one of those rounds was pretty good for, ooh, there we go. The dash in, Danzai. But at that range, even if you kind of land it, you're gonna be really low on jealousy. And if it's blocked, you're gonna be really far from your opponent anyway. Yep, again, look at the spacing. Ooh, that was really close. Nice idea, again, going under the far slash with the command dash. The decently fast key grab kind of a move. But in the end, you are gonna have to go through all of those frames, and if the timing doesn't align, Johnny could just recover and tag you from out of the recovery. Slowly pushing. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Which are we gonna strike on? It's kind of funny because you are so vulnerable, or rather so immobile as Abba. Characters like Johnny can kind of twerk on you in that regard. It's like they're gonna deal multiple times in a row. What are you gonna do about it? You would have to commit to like a dash or like a 5 heavy. Yeah, as I think that's exactly what Jalis tried to do there. Tried to 5 heavy, but it's so slow. Even though it reaches so far, it is so slow. It's kind of like a hard commit that you absolutely have to do. As these bluffs, as these double ups, as these pressure resets are coming out, you eventually have to answer the call. You have to gamble. You have to RPS. So before jumping into the last one, taking a small breather here. Apparently there has been some ping issues as well, swinging around. Which is of course slightly unfortunate, especially if you have to make snipes like these. The whip punish there with the tilt, and now Jalis is in once again. From the OTG into F-Shiki. However, the wall has too much damage. We can use Keeper of the Key here for sure. Go airborne. It's gonna bring you back onto the ground. I think if the opponent Abba is very low on jealousy, I think you're kind of happy just taking the Keeper of the Key on block in a situation like Diago was a second ago. Right, activate. One more mix-up, potentially. Diago does not have 50 meter yet. Not quite yet. Reset it. The Keeper of the Key once again. This time the F-Shiki is blocked, and then overhead blocked as well. And the subsequent overhead. Go again. Jalis spending everything. Uninstall. Install again. Diago, look at the pressure. Look at the defense. In the end, Diago did succumb to that overhead, but now, again, the health doesn't matter. Diago has the upper edge. No jealousy, no burst, or sorry, no tension for Jalis whatsoever. Going into the mode will be super hard. If you had 50 meter to reversal super, at least you could go into the mode using that. But now this burst is useless. It doesn't do anything. You have to go back to the pressure, the neutraling portion of the matchup. Okay, Jalis has 50. We have some options, but Diago also, in this kind of situation, you probably don't want to be at that range! And Diago, instead of keeping up the neutral, keeping up the keep away, went for the cookie jar. It is tempting because Jalis was getting low on health, but that exactly gives an opportunity for Jalis to RPS. The deep dash, Rekka initially gets a knockdown. Yeah, there we go. Get the uninstall by using 50 meter, and now we're full again. Downside to make sure that the opponent is not pressing anything. Overhead hits. Refund. Oh, baby, it's flowing so well for Jalis now. Whatever Jalis thought up during that little bit of a breather here is definitely working out. Now they're overhead. Suddenly, these mix-ups are sinking in. Hard bait on the burst. Diago not ready to burst just yet. Wild Assault is definitely an option here. Ooh, great deflect shield. Into it again, and that should be the kill. Jalis still on board. After suffering, what success, like, wait, I think it was 6 games? 6 losses in a row, wasn't it? Because Jalis started 2-0. And after that, it was just basically straight a 6-game win streak for Diago. And now finally, after those 6 games, gets a momentum breaker in and gets to say something again. But we have to repeat that. There are so many games that jalis has to fight through. Good burst there. Not only denying the combo from jalis, but also the 50 meter that they spent on the Wild Assault. Nice, get the deactivation, so half of that jelly is gonna come back for jalis, and we are safely, or quotation safely, over that 25 jelly threshold. But now, there we go, there's the 5 heavy commit, tries to swing. If Diago did something nasty there, was trying to deal too many cards or, you know, just hang around, that 5 heavy would have probably registered. But that time, Diago was just dancing backwards, making it whiff instead. That's the 5 heavy again. But again, the cancel options are not that great, especially if you connect it at max range. Now this time, jalis is the one who gets a really great timing on the burst. Nullifying 50 of Diago's. Oh, Diago tried to throw there, I think. But there is no way to deactivate safely. We're gonna go into the full pop situation again. And now we have to interact. Yeah, those are exactly what we need. We need Rekas or we need key grabs. Getting enough of those. Able to activate into Dansai, and that kills right. Even if the pop happens in the middle of the combo, the Dansai, especially on counter, it just bounces them way, way, way high up in the air. Nice backdash and punishing the far slash there. Going under the horizontal Mistfinder here is exactly the kind of read that jalis has been trying to make so many times, but hasn't been able to do it successfully or consistently enough here. Into the F-Shiki once again, big damage. Ooh, cashing out here. So jalis is saying, I think this kills, but does it? Does it kill? After the damage nerfs, it would have killed last patch. It would have killed, but not this one. Still, jalis skips the neutral, or rather uses the tilt as a makeshift command dash, drag himself next to the opponent and get the tick throw. Or rather, not even a tick throw, just a balls to the wall commit. Hope that the opponent is not pressing anything. All right, 2. We need how many? 3 more. 3 more is what jalis needs. All right, yep. Take all the time in the world that you need. Because it's gonna be a rough ride if jalis actually wants to come out of this victorious. If he does, it would be like one of the most insane comebacks I've ever seen. Because like it's... when we're talking about unstable characters or characters that, you know, suffer, you know, high highs and low lows, such as Abba, it's really hard to consistently win everything, right? Especially against a character who counters your mistakes as good as Johnny does. Yeah, can't really afford to burst here. Way too low health. Right? Successfully survives the 5 heavy swing. It's always like I'm sweating bullets whenever other players are swinging with that thing and then somehow get away with it. Ooh, the activation there! Yeah, that's what we were talking about at the start of the set. If you miss Mistfinder, it's gonna be slow enough on recovery that you might sneak in an install, and that's exactly what jalis did there. Basically saying, stop being like that. Stop being, ooh, wait, uncombo, we're still plus, overhead, back out of it. One more mix-up attempt. Ooh, it's the Rekka that actually hits as a frame trap. And then 2K, micro dash, 2K. Basic stagger pressure, that ain't even too good. I mean, except for the fact that Abba's 2K reaches really far away. Alright, got the grab, now the deal, and your guard will be officially crushed. jalis doesn't want to take it to the... Wait, close slash, nice! Anti-airing Abba's jelly aerial moves. Definitely a task that is very difficult to achieve for many characters, but perhaps when you have one of the most godliest close slash in the game, it is possible. And here comes Diago. It's gonna seal the deal right here, 7-4. But again, Jalis did the best he could. Six straight wins for Diago. From the 2-0 that was in Jalis's favor, Diago going into 2-6, and then like the amount of mental gymnastics that you have to do inside your own head to pull yourself back into the fight and to be able to say, I'm still gonna win this. Even if the win doesn't necessarily manifest, it's still great attempt for Jalis to run it back. But also great gameplay here from Diago. I think played the matchup rather perfectly. There was a couple of situations where Diago kind of overextended and let Jalis get a say in, but for the most part, just making sure that the pop happens first, and when the pop happens, when Abba is at basically 0 jelly, then you assume the defensive position. Just fill the screen with stuff, don't let Abba get in ever again. Your best win condition for sure in that matchup. All right, we're gonna head to our North American sequence here. Coming up, 2 games back-to-back, North America, East Coast versus West Coast Europe action. And the first one of those is gonna be Celphy Testament versus Kuro Happy Chaos. Alright, Testament Happy Chaos. Let's see, how has Kuro fared? So Kuro has been playing quite a lot on Bounty Hunters as of recent. Played even last week, I think. But since we had a little bit of a drought in terms of players this time around, a lot of players who did play last week did get in once again. Yeah, Kuro has been playing a lot. Sort of, I think 2-2 at the moment in Bounty Hunters in terms of score. So looking to perhaps break positive here in this matchup. Celphy, we've seen Celphy once, and I think that game was extremely entertaining and interesting to watch. Did take it on her debut match on Bounty Hunters. Let's see if we can keep up that win streak here. Small as it may be, a win streak is a win streak.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, we're starting with a big swing, 6 heavy right off the bat. I wonder, I forgot if Testament 6 heavy round start can actually reach if Happy Chaos does backdash, or if Happy Chaos does the makeshift backdash, which is the curveball throw, which can kind of like functionally work as a backdash as well. The counterplay to those is basically the same. You chase Happy Chaos, go in aggressively, and try to tag him out of that. Ooh, nice! The angle favors, doesn't let the crow touch Kuro at all. And then takes out the gun, keeps the opponent in block stun, and you already know how that works for Happy Chaos. As long as you have bullets, as long as you have concentration ready to be spent, you are mixing and you are comboing really, really hard. And then the breather moments are when you manage to actually knock the opponent down on Happy Chaos. When you don't have resources, when you can't go into Deus Ex Machina, usually spend the knockdown recovering like one of your resources, whichever you have less of. Oh, nice air throw! To the left right mix up. Celphy does not have any burst resources anymore left to spend. But also Kuro is on a momentary ADHD spree there. Went bust in terms of concentration. Was trying to buy more time with that throw. Because it's like, it's throw or it's it's like a 2K2D or just raw 2D that you're trying to score on the opponent in order to knock them down and in order to buy more time to recharge those ever so important resources. Very low on bullets, but one Deus Ex Machina could be what the doctor orders. Ooh, the trade! Definitely not in Kuro's favor, for he gets thrown in the corner. Now this corner is a nasty place to try to escape against Testament. Gold Burst, stay in there. This is a big commitment, or rather not even, because this is the last round. But that's a big one. Kuro gets to reload from basically 0 bullets to all the way to full. And we're suddenly back in the game again. That's kind of one of the things that you gotta keep an eye out on. If Happy Chaos is low resources, it's technically chasing time. Because like their rewards are gonna be weaker, they can't do their best combos, they probably, if they make you block something, they can't mix you up, right? Because they need the gunshot. They land like 2D, they need the gunshot in order to follow it up. So if you just you dash block forward into a normal, you're suddenly in a really nice position against Happy Chaos, because at that point Happy Chaos would have to kind of pray for some sort of connection with his normals. Arbiter Sign gets an initial. Ooh, interesting. Was there another follow-up there? Yep, this is a very common setup. Far slash, trigger stain, go into Nostrovia. You get the mix-up afterwards, and if you don't make a connection, if you don't get the mix-up in, you're probably gonna be plus afterwards. Still, if you pick up your setup correctly. Alright, starting with a 2S into a big combo. We already know how this is gonna end. Ooh, interesting. Actually, I did not know. There was a couple of options that we could have done here. Just break the wall, go into the next screen, get the positive bonus, or let the wall slap proc. 1 bullet left in the chamber, jumps out of the high Arbiter Sign, trying to cross up, however, Celphy positioning herself in a really nice place. You're gonna take this up fireball, but now both players are like, nothing personal, kid. We're gonna air dash over each other, and here comes the aggressive possession. Get the curse pop. Ooh, opponent rolling, and the slowdown frames are gonna give an opportunity for Celphy to punish that. Dashing in, spend a couple of bullets. Force the curse. Ooh, nice moving around with the use of possession here. There's a little bit of a whatchamacallit, a feast and famine moment. The famine moment is when you're running out of that concentration as Happy Chaos, where you kind of have to slow down a little and perhaps wait a couple more seconds for it to come back. Nice tech on the throw, but the big hand following up 6P. We're gonna pop here. Tries to go for the throw too early, question mark. Or, either way, I think Kuro was ready to mash the hell out of that throw. Sent the neutral crow, probably in hopes that Kuro was gonna jump out of that. Neutral possession, playing a little bit of RPS here. Celphy has been teleporting into that succubus marker very often, which could linger in the back of Kuro's mind here. And now every time you see a neutral succubus marker being planted and you see Testament just doing nothing, in your head, the bell should ring. Are they gonna teleport? And if so, I'm gonna have to be in a particular position so that I can punish it. Oh, nice jump here, and able to get through the second fireball as well. Now, even though Kuro did get hit there, getting like outside of the corner towards the mid screen is definitely big. Looking good on resources here. Deus Ex Machina is possible, don't even need it. Kuro gets another one. These are very, very slow games, but this is actually the kind of methodical gameplay that I enjoy maybe more than the silverback gorilla swinging. From time to time, at least. And over time, this matchup has gotten so much more interesting. Back in the day when you could just kind of like zone from full screen, steady aim, guard crush, steady aim, guard crush, load, steady aim, guard crush. that kind of gameplay would be really bad for Testament, because Testament is actually one of the slower dash characters in the game, and at that point, like, your matchup would usually against Happy Chaos would be decided upon like how good your dash is, how good are you at like dash blocking. But that's kind of no longer the kind of game that Happy Chaos plays. You can't afford to shoot at full screen anymore. Once you get the shot in, you're going in and you're mixing up and you're trying to get that hard knockdown really desperately. The difference between modern Happy Chaos and release Happy Chaos is like a night and day. Completely different kind of character. Ooh, the position in place. I wonder, could have probably tried to shoot the gun here. Got the successful steady aim shot in. Kuro once again running a little low on those bullets, and also pretty far from that tension where we could do Deus Ex Machina, teleport straight into the close slash. That's a big conversion. And the biggest cash out here, Nostrovia. We're gonna get the stain on the next screen as well. Couple of options. We could instant air dash in. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna whip a jump slash there and go for an empty low. There are layers there. And the cool thing is as well, Testament could just play a high-low arbiter sign. So it's like a moment when you're knocked down at the stage shift place and you're stained as well, hard knockdown. You gotta keep an eye out for so many different things that could occur from Testament. And all of them are gonna be followed up with a big combo, because again, Stain is gonna pop you. Wait, teleported straight into the curse ball. Or wait, did the curse ball actually land before the position went online? Nice, got a little bit of a kiss there from Heavy Grave Reaper. Nice use of position. Again, the opponent has to choose, are they gonna defend the succubus marker, in which case they can strike if you teleport into it. But if they commit, if they go past it, that's your cue to teleport into the marker and go into the middle of the stage. Essentially flipping your positions and winning massive amount of real estate for your zone. All right, great air throw. Needs one more. Left, right. Lots of shots. Ooh, the 2P! Able to actually interrupt the roll mix-up. Shot misses. Gonna hit this time, and as long as the reticle is locked in, can just basically unload the rest of the magazine in order to deal a couple of extra points of damage and take out Celphy. Nice backdash into 2K2D. Here we go. Good throw break. Has to take the curse because Celphy did. Oh my god, there we go. That's how you defend the marker. I wonder if that was what Kuro was meaning to do, because I think the pistol whip is rather slow on startup. But if it hits as a counter, it's gonna be a big starter. Right, Kuro a little low on health, but it does not matter as long as everything else is flowing. Oh, but hold on, Testament does have that arbiter sign, especially the low arbiter sign starts up so fast that it's kind of hard to outrun. Generally, you tend to outrun the overhead, which manifests much slower. But then the low one is kind of like a check where you're asking your opponent to stay still. And if they aren't, if they're not jumping, or rather if they're trying to move around or press buttons, they're gonna get caught by that. Teleport to the other side. Ooh, but lands from an awkward angle. Probably wasn't too many buttons that you could have pressed there as Happy Chaos. Ooh. I like that deflect shield, but in the end, I think Kuro was on top of that situation enough to be able to convert the pressure so that you don't necessarily get to press a lot of buttons afterwards, because the gun is out, and if the reticle is locked onto you, I think the deflect shield. What does the deflect shield do to the reticle then? I think the reticle still stays on you, so if Happy Chaos has shots to fire, then you're gonna stay still. Ooh, great whiff punish there from the backdash attempt. And now cornered, cursed. Ooh, able to get the burst out of that. There we go, this time outrunning the low arbiter. I mean, it is possible if you're already full speed ahead. It does, like, it only tracks so much. To the other side, nice. And this will mean... Oh, okay, just taking the shot. Was probably trying to ponder between what resources I should try to recover. Oh, another hitbox still! I like the idea, however, I think Kuro might have been trying to press a button, going to a normal after that blue RC, which extended into the girls still. Big reload. Ooh, this is this once again. Celphy was in the same situation once earlier as well. This is the kind of situation, as you see Happy Chaos running low on bullets, you should try to approach at least a little, so that if they go for the reload, they can, at least they can't get a full reload, right? Ooh, nice tag there. Perfectly aligned, was going for the curse ball, and even though Celphy takes the curse coming out of that possession, it's still like, it's not gonna put you in block stun or anything. It's a very unique kind of tool, the curse ball, in that sense. All right, forcing the curse. Plus frames, even after RBS, like, there we go! Deep dash, that's great! I think that's the first time Kuro went for a really, really deep dash on the fireballs. And that's exactly kind of the kind of thing that many characters would have to do against Testament. Just don't let them throw fireballs forever for free. Oh, here's another Happy Chaos special. Take out the gun. If you manage to attach the reticle, then it doesn't matter what Testament is doing. Are they throwing fireballs? Are they, you know, crowing? None of that matters. There we go once again. Reticle is locked on. Kuro knows, so there is no escape from that situation for Celphy. Kuro here with the big win streak. Or not a win streak, but really great massive lead. 3 games up on Celphy. But Celphy has had a lot of success within the individual rounds.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I think almost every time Celphy has managed to press offense, press, you know, do pressure, especially in the corner, it tends to work out pretty well. We just need to sort of get there. It's funny, it's not a matchup where you can just hang back as Testament because of the nature of how Happy Chaos is. You gotta be maybe a little more aggressive, maybe a little more active than maybe in some other matchups. But this is gonna end in either a super or just a 6S to follow it up.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
There we go. We were thinking about that, like whether that 6 heavy would actually connect on the backdash, but looks like it does. So if you think that Happy Chaos is gonna take the escape route, so backdash or use the curse ball at round start, you can swing wide and try to cash out on that. That's usually how the RPS in... Oh, speaking of that 6 heavy, too bad Celphy was a little too far to convert perfectly. But still, a single 6 heavy into like just the Arbiter sign is gonna do a lot of damage on Happy Chaos. Alright, try to send the neutral crow. The cool thing about if you send the neutral crow without homing onto the marker, when it comes back to you, you can send it back immediately and then it goes into horizontal low mode. Because it returns, like, you send it high, then it returns back to you on a low position, and if you send it back immediately, it will be sent from that exact same angle. But it sort of requires your opponent to respect the first crow and then not do anything all the way up to when the crow returns to you. Right, recharge all of those resources. A little bit low on concentration, but usually the concentration is completely fine on the hard wall break because, like, it's gonna come back over time, and as a hard knockdown, you can really you can just run up to your opponent, make them block stuff for maybe 2-3 seconds, and maybe like around 2 seconds, and during that your concentration is gonna come back, and then at the end of your block string you can take out the gun again.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting...
So Kuro expanding on that massive lead here. What is it that Celphy needs here? Fake teleport. Committing into it. Ooh, the curse mark is still on! New buffs! Oh my god! In previous patches that stain would have expired long ages ago. I've actually been of the opinion that maybe that stain should just last forever, because it's really like really annoying. First of all, to put the stain on the opponent, but then like if the opponent keeps, you know, running away, unless you commit really hard, you just might not have the time to capitalize on it. Right, into the combo, this should be a kill. We do have resources. Get the stick. Oh, miss input. The 5k. That was not the button that Kuro wanted. And now able to build to 50, making sure that we're gonna indeed go onto the wall. Ain't gonna kill, right? Yep, not quite gonna kill. All resources available for Kuro. But again, the same mix-up we used last time. It's so nasty as well, because you understand how many good options just connecting normals Testament has there. So of course you're gonna think they're gonna just connect the normals, make the safe jump, make the jump in. But no, they just whip that jump slash and get the throw. I wonder what Kuro would play next time though. Oh, the possession gets a little bit of value there, but then the struggle, or rather the scramble situation, both players going airborne. Cancel into Deus Ex Machina. So good for Kuro. Celphy does have a little bit of a buffer here in terms of, ooh, is that gonna be a throw? No, deems that it's not. It's maybe perhaps deems that it's too late into the startup frames, that if you try to throw here, you're not gonna have the 1 frame gap that it requires. Nice, got the close slash, but not the follow-up. Maybe was thinking that the opponent was grounded already. All right, once again, use the red wild assault to make sure that the Nostrovia is gonna go to the wall. Slate is active. Lots of respect here. Just in the end, goes for the gold burst here, Kuro. Gun is still out, and as long as that gun is out, you can't block. So Celphy teleporting straight into a very advantageous position. Because I think, I forgot, does the reticle actually persist through possession? I think it does, right? Because I've seen the reticle move with Testament as they're teleporting like ridiculous speeds. Is Kuro actually gonna run this back? From this basically 0 hit points, there it is, the air backdash into S-Grave Reaper. Covers a perfect distance and stops Kuro from instant air dashing forward. We are officially back. We are so back. Probably. Question mark?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Tries to swing the 6P at round start, setting the marker, setting the RPS for the potential possession RPS. But I mean, then it's always good to rely on the layer 1 option as well. As you set the succubus marker, just send the crow there. If the opponent is trying to defend the marker, they're probably gonna take the crow in the face as well, right? We are cursed. Ooh, nice tap on the 2K. Probably not gonna quite be enough, but setting up another guaranteed stain and pop it with far slash. Not much you can do about it. And then you're gonna have to take those minus frames again. A potential strike throw or pressure reset situation. The Grave Reaper, ooh, again teleporting straight into close slash. Big starter, making sure that we get the not only the meter, because Celphy was a little short on meter to use the Nostrovia, and the red wild is also taking her to the wall, making sure that we're breaking the wall with that stain available. There's the burst, probably one of the last moments that Kuro could have had to burst. Players, high resources. Here's the burst, comes immediately. Kuro is able to get a nice reload there, full clip. But then goes past on the resources. We have the ADHD pills, and then go back in straight, pull out the gun. Hope that the reticle is gonna find its mark, even without the use of curse. And I think it did. I think that was a hip shot there. So 1 out of 3, if I'm not mistaken. Or perhaps Celphy wasn't moving around too like fast enough to outsmart the reticle. Is a successful hit. We can convert. Deus Ex Machina is available. 2 bullets from this Deus Ex. Now potentially looking for one more hit. So many resources of the unique kind. Basically one conversion that Kuro is gonna need them. He's gonna get anti-aired on the landing frames. Too early on the throw. celphy with an opportunity to completely turn it around. Teleport to the other side. Are you kidding me? Hello? Was that the new steer on possession that put celphy to the wrong side, or rather the cross-up side? God, I've never seen that mix-up before. Counter hit as it may be, close slash, not converting into much. Any hit is gonna be good. The Radical is latched. No, he goes bust. But then, wait, huh? That was... Wait, that was BRC. That was Calamity 1 BRC, right? I saw the BRC start up. It would have worked. I think celphy wanted, like, celphy tried to do reversal super BRC here for the extended invo frames. But unfortunately, 5k from Kuro was already active. And still active while when the BRC started. I think that's the only explanation what happened there. I'm pretty sure I saw this, like the one frame where Testament is transitioning into the pose of Calamity 1. Right, immediate burst here. Kuro doing pretty well. Nice, committing to the dash. That's why Arbiter Sign is so dangerous if your opponent is just, you know, if they're just engaging. All right, Nostrovia. Let's see if we're gonna do, yeah, it's gonna get the wall stick most of the time, but we don't have the 50 meter to go back into another Nostrovia. Oh, making sure that that's very plus. Maybe was expecting the YRC to come out slightly earlier. Backdash, 2K 2D, once again successful, teleport into more pressure, and the 2K again. One of the better 2Ks in the game. I mean, both of these characters have a really, really great 2K. What we colloquially call the DLC 2K. When it reaches, when it low profiles, when it converts. Yeah, that's a DLC 2K. Bang, bang. Losing a lot of bullets here. However, none of that matters if in the end you get to reload all of it, or at least some of it. The bullets are back, but how about the concentration? If Kuro wants to keep up the pressure, we have to go into a pressure string here. The problem is, like, a lot of the pressure strings, you... Oh, nice 2K there on the landing frames. Can't power through the fireball this time. Curse lands. Oh, the possession! I think the possession made the reticle not actually stick. And Kuro does have a blue burst available here, but we're gonna go into this mix-up situation again. Is it gonna be the jump slash? No, not this time. This time we're just gonna go with the standard stuff. YRC for 10 frames plus. Same thing. Wait, the gun missed? I think the gun missed there, even as the deflect shield was active. Damn. Lots of stuff happening, and we've arrived here, Kuro, with so many set point position potentially available before there's anything that celphy can do. Nice, this time we're engaging on that concentration failure. A little bit of old Happy Chaos gameplay. We're just shooting. But eventually, like, it's the problem is that your concentration is gonna run out so fast if you're standing on the other side of the screen, which will kind of make you go bust on your resource department. Oh, that's a big shot. Got all of the bullets back. Low Arbiter Sign finds its mark. It is, of course, slightly slower than when you're just taking a shot. Good block on the overhead. celphy has 50, but it's so hard to use it on anything. Especially since Kuro is maintaining this zoning position. The momentum completely shifted here. The game plan just becoming something that we're used to seeing on vanilla Happy Chaos. But it worked out, I think, because celphy was a little hesitant engaging from that full screen position. That allowed Kuro to make the shots happen, make slightly greedy reloads, making slightly greedy concentration reloads happen as well, and being able to maintain that whatchamacallit, the resource situation. I guess what do you do in that kind of situation? I guess the go-to gameplay is to do what they did back in the day. Just dash block forward and make, you know, Happy Chaos eventually reach 0 resources, or what? Or maybe just block. I mean, technically you can't just block, because then the exact thing that happened is gonna happen. Kuro is gonna recharge those resources, and then we're gonna shoot again. Damn. Tough one. All right, the second one of our East Coast NA versus West Coast European matchups next here. See, Mox already raring to go. Climbing on the cabinet. This will be first time for Masked on Bounty Hunters as far as I can remember. And this will also be the first time we see Sol on Bounty Hunters on Season 4, right? I think? And Sol, I mean, Sol hasn't changed that much in terms of gameplay, other than the combo routes, of course. The combo routes have been completely reinvented because of how clean hit Heavy Volcanic Viper now instantly wall sticks, as well as how Fafnir actually functions now in combos. Much more of a combo tool rather than a tool that generates plus frames if your opponent is standing still. So they went back to the Fafnir that Sol had back in the day in XX series, right? Wasn't that how Fafnir used to work back in the day? Where you could just cancel into it and then it would be sort of a combo tool kind of a thing. Interesting. So we've come full circle since that era. All right, Mox on Baiken, Masked on Sol. North America versus Europe. Let's see who's gonna take it this time. Two characters that are, again, trying to fight into that either like mid-ish, close mid-range, or just point-blank range. Of course, you know, Sol bad guy, one of the primary gorillas, plus frame dispenser, tick throw dispenser, get hit once, die. Baiken a little bit more, you know, you kind of want to do the same stuff, but you would rather have your Escapade attached first in order to get the best mix-ups and combo damage possible. Oh, just goes for the SDP there. And now that's a close slash counter hit. Mox already knew that was going to end really, really badly if Mass was, you know, had the combo routing. Speaking of combo routing, this should be enough. 10G. Shit. It's going to be enough. It's actually going to break the wall as well. I've been surprised how much Baiken's reversal super actually corner carries. Starting the round with a Tyrant Grave, Grand Viper? Vortex, that's the one. Sorry, we're going back to XX and all of those games right now. It's been so long since I've seen Sol that I'm forgetting which, what are the moves called in Guilty Gear Strive. Ooh, there we go with the Yozan. It's gonna be a punish unless combines it with the RC, FRC of all things, and goes into the go-to mix-up that you can get from Bandit 1, Bandit 2. I'm baiting the reversal parry, however, committed to a very, very long backdash, so was unable to get the punish there in the end. Now, empowered by the physics. God, I fucking love physics in more than one way. I mean, you know, okay, let's not talk about the tether. I'm of course talking about the tether, right? That's the physics. Ooh, again, the SDP catching the backdash. I think the second time that Mask goes for that. Just waiting. What are they gonna do? They're gonna come forward. Is this? I wonder if this is just like a patience check, or if this is actually like a maybe like a, is there a delay kind of check, like waiting for rollback frames to settle maybe? Because like even though this is probably like one of the closest connections that we could ever have, it is still across the ocean kind of a connection. First one goes for Mast. They run, or rather they jump into it straight away, which I guess kind of indicates that we are probably good to play. I think it's just, you know, probably neither player wants to like arrive to whatchamacallit, approach into the opponent's tools. Like for Sol, you kind of don't want to run into like a defensive jump slash or defensive tatami mat. And for Baiken, of course, you don't want to run into like a far slash from Sol, right? You would much rather, you know, connect with some of your more safe pressure starters first. We're going into the basic stuff. Plus frames, do I DP or do I DP not? The classic question for the ages. Look at the spacing by Mast. Mast is just comfortable waiting. I mean, it does make sense. There's the new feature. The heavy Volcanic Viper clean hit immediately sticks the opponent to the wall. But again, in the end, it does not matter if you got a massive combo already riding on your back. Ooh, hello? Where the physics taking us? Again, with the dive kick. Oh, big counter hit. Cloud slash. Immediate burst by Mox. Rare trade there as the drive by Yozan goes and slashes at Sol. Oh. So, interesting fact how that mechanically works. If you're running forward, your first thought might be, I'm getting tension pulls out of this. But in fact, that's not how it works. If you're moving away from your opponent, the tension pulls is gonna go down like that. So if you're running away from your opponent, you're gonna get negative penalty like within 2 seconds or less. Alright, the air gun does not provide any relevant plus frames, but again, both of the players are just kind of looking for the opponent to make a mistake. Look at this patience, tries to go for an instant air dash. There we go! One mistake is all that it took. Mast took the chance to go instant air dash, jump heavy, completely airballed it, and then, ooh, 3 in a row? Do you dare to attempt to punish me? There we go, there's the interruption. Not quite close enough for S-Kabari. Heavy Kabari, however, at this range, has been one of the go-to moves how Mox has attempted to play the neutral, which does make sense because it's technically the longest reaching tool in the matchup. Now that they're already attached, so we're gonna get a nice combo out of the throw. And the setup, I think that was perfect amount of time for Mox to make everything happen basically. And now massive frame advantage, or sorry, not frame advantage, life advantage here. Skipping the neutral, using all of your meter. Alright, went into combo, waiting for the burst. Oh my god, Matt is crazy. Baits the wires, he hears the burst, finally gets the burst out. But now we are back in this situation. Both players spent all of their resources. Now we just gotta play the neutral raw, unadulterated. Ooh, never mind. We built that 50 meter into the mix-up, throw in the corner, and OTG6 heavy. Perfect choice. The one move that does not basically prorate at all on knockdown of opponents. Is there an easier way to say that actually?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Wait, did Mask take the first game? I think they did, right? Big combo inbound, unless with the drop, or perhaps a happy little accident. Another one, once again, trade on the drive-by Yozan-sen. That means that basically saying that Mask is trying to counter it, but maybe the timing isn't just not quite right. Alright, we could burn meter here, or we could just go into the S-Kabari for all the organic plus frames from downtown or maybe the left side. I think Mast has definitely lapped the situation. When the tether is attached, they probably know how it's gonna function, because they're doing all sorts of funky like instant air dash over, then come back with a bandit bringer. There we go from the jump slash, the second overhead in the form of Yozan-sen. Oh, he gets there in time! That's spacing. Because this time Mast was not full screen. A lot of the time Mast has spent, or like the players have spent, like full screen distance from one another. So it's not really possible to interrupt that heavy kabari. But this time, from that mid-range, Mast said, all right, I think you'll use this. So I'll just dash forward and bar slash. Oh, was that a cross-up? Are you freaking kidding me? Clash and a cancel as well into far slash. I think that was just a natural clash cancel, right? Usually we would see people mashing the DP, which would result you into doing another DP on that clash. But that time it turned into a far slash for Mast, making me believe that that was probably premeditated. But was probably able to see that the S Kabari was gonna in fact clash with the DP. First out the corner. Now Mox still has her burst available. Not able to contain the target in the corner. Wow, what a challenge there. Far slash plus, what is it, +2, +3, +4 for Soul. Now we're interrupting. And the air dash Yozan, the classic escape from the corner, leading into some really nice conversions, especially in the later patches, as they've increased the frame advantage that you get from that. To the other side, Mox knows though. Use these physics. Here's the DP once again. But here's my DP. I think Mast has already queued up the RC there to drift. But alas, just a little bit too late. And now back into the chess match. Mast takes a little different approach this time. We're pedaling those mids. Look at that. Risk is really high. So this was super important for Mox to land in order to make all of that risk flow back into nothingness. Yeah, that was a big survival there from the corner. All of the times you can't really escape the King Gorilla coming at you with basically maximum blinking risk. Time to mix up again, or never mind, that was a throw, so we're just going into combo because the tether was already attached. Right, pretty okay trade for a Mast in terms of position, but in terms of the life lead, I think you don't want to trade anymore here if you're Mast. Alright, through the wall. Life situation equalized, but the meter situation is favoring Mox. No pun. Oh, not really a punish, but waiting again. However, this time, there's the burst. Yozan! Oh my god, of course it's the Yozan. I initially thought that the air dash was gonna whiff, but then the backwards hitting portion of the Yozan coming to save the day. Oh, that's a counter hit that could be followed up with a 5k, which is what Mast tried to do there. DP to the right direction. Success, no cancel. Rather minus. Yeah, I mean, as far as like far range approach tools are concerned, the 6S from Sol is one of the, I guess, one of the safer ways to swing wide and swing far. Unless you want to commit to something like Vortex or, I mean, you have Gunblade as well. Gunblade is kind of cool. And Gunblade in modern patches approaches pretty fast. Although the problem, of course, is the heavy Kabari is quite disjointed and can go through the flames and tag you while you're trying to rev up your gun flame. Alright, Thunder into the corner, and now we're pedaling. Micro dash. Oh, tried to flinch there, tried to throw. But in that time, Mast was not in range at all. Plus frames. Ooh, this time pressing. You know, Mast has been pressing that SDP so often after that S Kabari plus frames that maybe Mox was trying to call it out this time. I saw a micro dash. Maybe micro dash into a block. There we go. That's a dash into a block. That's the kind of thing that we want to do to take out those DPs, or rather bait out those DPs. Wait and bait once again here from Mast. Big combo should be a kill, especially since this Fafnir did build 50 meter. Oh, never mind, it didn't. 1 meter shy. All right. I'm kind of glad that Mast killed with that, man. Because I didn't think that was any sort of follow-up otherwise. over the flames. Waiting in the air, landing into not very advantageous situation in terms of frames, but if you queue up your DP, maybe there are still plays to be had. The eternal question when you're playing with characters like these. Right, Yozan connects airborne, so should lead into a lot of plus frames. Nice block in the overhead. Or maybe just naturally stood up to do the wires C. Either way, still untouched until the backdash that was caught by the TK Yozan. And great positioning once again. Shimmying with the backdash. Gets the throw, drawn out, and a big counter hit punish. A little bit of a miss there with the red Wyvern. I think, again, a conundrum where Mox was airborne. So the conversion didn't quite work out. BRC options, I like to make sure if we miss, that we're still on top of things. And we definitely are. Not baiting the wire C this time. Can't have them all. And he got a big conversion from Mox. Close slash, waiting for the DP. Never to come, waiting for it again. This is the RPS when you and then it comes. Oh, I love it. The classic gameplay from DP characters. Is he gonna DP or is he not gonna DP? And then of course you have to make the excruciatingly fast call during your pressure. Am I gonna bait this time? Well, Mox is gonna bait this time into a successful 1/3 of the opponent's life. Good defense again. Mast, I think that the reason why Mast is so comfortable just hanging back a lot of the time is that I think they look pretty comfortable in their defensive posture. Has been blocking a lot of TK Yozans, for instance. Swing close slash until Mox returns back onto the ground. Burst is gonna be back here. Immediate burst as soon as he can. Slides into the wire C. No kill. Still, yeah, a tough comeback to make, even for Mr. Bad Guy himself. Even with a close slash counter, it's gonna be questionable whether you can kill with that. So Mox taking out the hyper fast jab and just interrupting the pressure. Very neck to neck here. 3 to Mox's 2. Starting the round successfully with that heavy kabari that we were talking about as a neutraling tool. If it is the longest reaching tool in the matchup, it technically has the first word in a way, in a matter of speaking. Yeah, like this. It's kind of dangerous for you to take out the Gunflame. This time Mox is trying to close the distance. Ooh, but a little too close to the sun. Here comes the mix-up to the other side. The initial 2K actually landed, but Mast was ready to break the throw that followed up. Yes, he's target airborne. And the desire to punish the whiffed Bandit Bringer is too much. Risk. Oh my god, he just mashed there with a 5P successfully. And no, another one! It's a tough conundrum when the SDP lands on you when you're airborne. That will force, as far as Strive is concerned, extra recovery frames for you. So it might actually be like, even if you bait the SDP, if you're airborne, it might be really hard to punish. Which again puts you in that situation. Am I gonna try to punish that, or am I just gonna wait the DP? Speaking of the DP, the return of the DP. Ooh, interesting. Able to make the blue Wild Assault combo still work, even though the opponent is airborne there for Mox. 2P. Deeming that there is not gonna be a cancel. Ooh, that should be enough. Even with the nerf damage, Nast finds the first wild throw of the set. At the perfect timing as well. It's a situation where the throw would not kill, so you need a little bit of extra oomph, and you go for that wild throw. I think Wild Throw is one of the most iconic Soul tools that was kind of shafted in the transition from old gear to new gear. Because like it's like it just does damage, but it gives away too much momentum, and Strive is just a momentum game, isn't it? All right, with the combo, we're gonna cash out as well. Wait for the super, maybe slightly earlier than the doctor ordered, so that there's not going to be a burst from the opponent. The burst was of course available, but at this point, yeah, Mast can't really, on a good conscience, commit to that burst. That is what we call hero burst in the industry if you were to hit it that time. IB got the backdash from Mast. Ooh, nice air-to-air situation. Mox knows that would take you to the corner, as well as make you suffer great damage. Again, the 5 PP interruption there on the pressure string. Gotta be very careful though. If it's // into 5 heavy and you're pressing piece into that, you might find yourself moving to the next round rather fast. It's a really interesting sequence. Mox was pressuring with that Escabari, her back into the corner for such a long time. And here we go. The tether still has been detached for now. Strike throwing. Where's the next one to come from? Yep. Empty throw, and you bet your ass that Mast was gonna option selecting that with a PRC as well in case the throw whiffed. Alright, big damage coming through. How is Mox gonna handle the rest of this round? Big life lead for Mast, but Mox has the resources. Here's the combo breaker. But again, the air-to-air has been favoring Mast quite a bit, which is strange considering how sort of dominant Baiken tends to be with the air-to-air exchanges. With that jump slash, quite far-reaching, and I guess decently fast for the kind of button it is, has been losing to Mast's air buttons quite a bit. It's just a classic 6P, prompting an immediate burst from Mox. Ooh, perfect spacing there. That's the kind of stuff that Baiken players want to do. Air backdash, tatami, just short of reach when the opponent tries to air dash at you. Gosh, there's a lot of jitter here looking like. It's been decent so far, but the past couple of games there has been some hiccups. A big question. Did Mox hit a button? Yes, indeed. Switch sides. Oh, that's actually gonna kill. No, drops the combo. But still gets a second volley there. When you drop the combo, just, make the best of it. Flow into the next situation. Don't give up. Again, trade on the Yozan. That's the most drive-by cross-up Yozans that I've ever seen in a set before. And I'm struggling to see what it is trading with. Is that 5k from Sol? Okay, 6P, the Bandit Bringer already crossing up, however, extending itself into the 6P of Mox. There we go, the heavy kabari, runs straight into it, TK, Yozan-sen, instant air dash, that's gonna be a kill, and a super, no super. Was probably deeming that would have been a kill with a jump D, meter for meter. Approach territory, that jump slash connects so high up in the air, which prompts Mox to say, you're not plus here, or if you are, it's like +1 or +2, which ain't much. Ooh, got the backdash with far slash, decent amount of damage out of that combo. And then the cash out, here comes Tyrant Brave, not quite the kill, very close to it though. Yep, RPSing by just approaching. The problem here is, like, if you're going for a safe jump setup, safe jumps just naturally die to the reversal parry. I think this hits. This is super fast one. No, never mind. Deems that it's not gonna do anything. So just goes for the BRC, making sure that you have frame advantage still, and target the opponent's airborne frames once again.
Duel 1.
Mast looking really good here. Missing the DP, but go for it again. That has been working out so far. So I think, and especially since you gotta consider it's a little bit of net play meta here, especially since it's across the ocean connection. Speaking of which, Mox goes for a tap 5D. I bet your ass Mox was trying to fully charge 5D there for the 30 frame reaction check, but because of the lag there, probably lost the charge and just turned into a normal 5D tap. Or maybe that was just misinput on 2D and I'm dumb. Either way, gotta play really careful here. Gosh, there's a lot of stuttering, but we must persevere. It is the net play meta after all, so you do what you will with what you have. And what we have here is a potential mix-up scenario. Max managed to get out of there though. We go once again into minus frames and then followed up with a SDP. Again, the interruption. However, the 5P 5Ps have not been followed up by like a lot of special moves or cancels that would move Mox into a dominant position. It's extremely risky. Like I keep saying this, that in Guilty Gear Strive, oh my god, that's so much risk. Help. Send help. All right, that's definitely helping. Baits the DP. Nice. Okay, I was so scared because even though Mox had such a massive life lead, with that amount of risk, you're just gonna get erased from existence immediately if you get hit. So both players kind of persevering a lot in that round. But what can Baiken even cancel that 5B into? Are there any good options? There's gotta be something. 6P, Lamau. Right, YRC for YRC, my turn. Or rather, it was my turn a second ago, and it's my turn again. There we go, yep. Have to burst. And the cool thing with one of the changes that they did with burst is using that blue burst completely recovers you, or rather clears your risk. So it would kind of suck if you, like, your risk is blinking, you burst out of the combo, and the opponent gets to you again and gets another massive risk conversion on you because of how much risk they managed to build earlier. But the blue burst just completely clears it nowadays. Dash into Tyrant Rave, big damage. Potentially could end the set here. Max is on set point, there we go, goes for the safe jump that we were talking about, but Hiragi, being a frame 0 parry, or frame 1 parry if you will, just completely clears it. Too far to be able to disjoint the DP this time. Gosh, it's chugging so much at the most crucial moment as well. Plus frames, DP, there we go. There's gonna be a decent amount of opportunity to deal damage here because Mast is still a couple of ticks away from the burst. There it is, immediately goes for it. Mast wants to end here. FRC, gold burst, oh. Followed up with the, oh my god, there's everything thrown around. But that's minus! Nowadays, the Fafnir on block tried to convert something. Or rather, I guess it can be used as a frame trap as well now, because you can cancel into it. But then, the backlash afterwards, tagged by Mox's far slash. Mox still alive somewhat, but let's see how that state of things manages to, if that's what, you know, that was end up happening here. That's that trade in Mox's favor. That far slash connects. However, the 5 if he doesn't. Or rather, I think there was supposed to be a special cancel there that just didn't come out. And that's the throw. That's the throw that ended the set. Mast takes the set across the ocean between East Coast, North America, and West Coast, Europe. One apiece. I think it was in the previous set, Europe got one. In this one, North America got one. So even Stevens here this time around. That's wild gameplay though. That takes me back, you know, into older fighting games. Especially like King of Fighters, like old King of Fighters is one of the most prominent example. I guess old Street Fighter as well in a way, but especially like old King of Fighters. Go into minus frames and then, you know, DP. Use a DP that hard to punish and then go for another DP. That's very classic vanilla Soul gameplay. Anyway, Radune and LoHii are gonna be the players that finish it up tonight. Radune, of course, a classic bounty hunters, a domestic brand kind of a name. LoHii is one of the Finnish goats when it comes to Street Fighter. So if you're strictly following the Guilty Gear scene, you might not know LoHii as too much of a prominent player. However, LoHii absolutely dominating player in, you know, in the side of Street Fighter, and those fundamentals decently, like I always say, Street Fighter fundamentals are probably the easiest fundamentals to convert to other fighting games. And I mean, LoHii has been playing Guilty Gear franchise for quite a while too. Like played Exert a little, has been dabbling here and there as far as Strive is concerned. Has tried a couple of different characters. I think the last time we saw LoHii on Bounty Hunters was on Ram, right? It was the Ram era. But now, as the meta has shifted a little, and, you know, Johnny has become more prominent in the meta, and Ram stonks have been going down as of recent. This is quite the great pick, I would say. Or maybe it's just, you know, the will to play a, you know, a slightly different kind of a cooler character, maybe. Johnny is that kind of character that appeals to, you know, the desires of many fighting game players, indeed, in terms of at least the audiovisual design. Nice. Speaking of those jabs, in the previous set, Mox did miss a couple of those jabs into conversions, but now LoHii, when you get that 2P mash, when you get that 5P mash, followed up, nice with the position as well. So that's going to be a very important feature that you gotta have with Radune Leo, because Radune is not afraid to swing the DP, or rather the either the flash kick or the reversal super. LoHii just patiently waits for his turn, drops Radune in the corner. Radune, though, not willing to go down this round. Nice timing there, perfect. The classic option is, of course, do the back turn D and then follow up with another back turn D. Actually, that's kind of reminiscent of the last or the previous set where Mashed would play a lot of those minus frame situations and then follow it up with a DP, or even do like DP into DP. The back turn D for Leo kind of works the same. Like it's really hard to sometimes in the heat of the moment to react to that back turn D, and then if you try to punish, you just collide with the second one. Right through the wall we go. This will put LoHii in a very nice resource situation. If we manage to get a safe jump, or actually, yeah, I think there's actually not a there is no safe jump. Oh, Strive Earth. Steam, are we good? Oh, is it me? Is it a QK problem? I think the players were actually playing there on the background, and it's us. The problem is us who's lagging. J for YoKai. Alright, LoHii starts with 1. I've actually been like begging to see, like sort of burning to see, desiring to see what kind of stuff LoHii has been cooking up as of recent in the Guilty Gear front. Yeah, the back turn P, the classic can't jump on this. Just produces a hitbox that is super hard to challenge everywhere around Leo. I followed up with a D, or sorry, it's a little bit of a throw. Right into the corner, and as Radune is swinging that 6P, ample time for LoHii to rev up the Mistfinder to break the guard. Now Johnny is a pretty cool character to play against the kinds of Leo, because Leo, of course, is just an absolute gorilla. Wants to get close to you, wants to pressure you, wants to mix you up. Johnny has an option to, you know, play aggressive, go in when you have your, you know, conditions fulfilled, but also has the ability to play keep away pretty well. Mistfinder can be hard to challenge. You know, you are a step dash character, you can only have a certain amount of range, especially like on a character like Leo, who doesn't really thrive with long range normals. More is about that close mid-range. Speaking of that, micro dash forward into a 6P to call out LoHii's round start. Far slash. But of course you would. Of course Johnny's would, because it's one of the best buttons. You gotta have a counterplay against that. That's a DP from Leo, or rather Radune, which LoHii had to commit to that burst immediately if he still wants to survive. 100-meter Radune is really tough to deal with. But the big question, how is Radune gonna break the zoning here? Guard is crushed. Wow! The little hesitation there from LoHii was probably waiting for the potential reversal super, which, I mean, I was thinking about it. This is Radune we're talking about. Of course, if you're getting zoned, spend the bar, make sure that you get in. Maybe you have to spend 100, but you know, you spend it. For Radune, was just waiting for the hesitation and then go for the 2D. That's such a Leo classic. Because like a lot of the time how people are hesitating is that they are probably walking backwards, they're probably standing, because at that range you don't necessarily usually need to crouch, so then you get caught by the 2D, the surprise 2D from Leo instead. Super doesn't quite come out. So Radune gets a small chance to play here, commits to, was that Rekka 1 or Rekka 2? Or the artist formerly known as Rekka 1, I'm not sure what it's called in this one. Erstis? Alright, through the wall once again. LoHii, a lot of resources, misses with the cross-up shot. Oh, I love that. Radune assumed the parry stance, which LoHii sort of, I think LoHii might have actually committed to the vault already, but as he saw that the parry stance was assumed, just chose to not strike into it, but instead just go empty, go throw, which is one of the counter plays that you can have against that stance of Leo's. The other is, of course, you know, use far-reaching lows. In Johnny's case, I think that's 2S, right? No burst here. Well, I was kind of thinking that was gonna happen, and then the pounce happens. Ooh, the berserker slash actually from too far away ends up completely airballing LoHii. Break the guard. This is the basic. Oh my god! Again. Every moment the hesitation. There we go. There's the first 2S. There. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's also what can happen if Radune wants to try to sort of aim for the strike against the deal from the vault. You would have to let go of the stance, in which case the RC explosion that you can do actually beats you out of it, because you give away your stance, you give away your armor. Ooh, again, the 2D has been just hitting really actively. But I mean, is that enough? That is a huge commitment, and eventually, like LoHii, make no mistake, LoHii is watching every single RPS option that you're playing. There we go! Look at that! The backdash! Adjusting the position, perfect! This is the Street Fighter player that lives inside of LoHii, the perfect spacing. And now, from the -15, I mean, with the card, it's extremely plus, but I mean, what is Leo gonna do on -15 anyway from perfectly spaced misfire? Nice! Using the vault as a makeshift instant air dash out of the corner. I've never seen anything like it. This is the kind of creativity that, you know, maybe players who don't play this franchise like 24/7 are gonna bring to the table. Again, the spacing. Ooh. Yeah, that's if you try to punish that with a 2D, I think that's too slow, right? So to punish misfire, like if you actually want to punish it, you would have to go for one of your faster S buttons, like maybe bar slash can do it. I'm not quite sure what the options are for Leo. There we go. I think Radune again tried to go for the 2D, but LoHii has caught the scent, so to speak. 2S this time to counter it. Leo 2D has some capabilities of hopping over lows, so I'm not quite sure how 2S from Johnny and 2D from Leo can interact with each other depending on, you know, what part of the hitbox and what part of the frame data we're on. Ooh, that's gonna be a good trade. However, misses the close slash pickup, unfortunately, prompting Radune Leo's pressure. If we're DPing with the heavy one, we can definitely still cancel it. If you're wondering why is that DP RC'd, it is because it is the non-invu version. which another extremely Radune Leo kind of a thing that loves to do. He's not quite gonna kill, and I believe not gonna break the wall either. But the guard crush pressure in the corner is very, very strong. Look at this LoHii's pressure, or rather LoHii's spacing. There we go, and we're punished with 6k. Are you kidding me? Consistency. Like, what blows my mind is, like, you often see this kind of spacing footsies with punishing game from maybe players who are, like, really high ranking, really, like, you know, at that advanced category of players. Seeing consistent whip punishing like this and just neutraling is kind of a rare treat at this level of play, I would say. Oh, there we go with this jump scare. LoHii hasn't been using the 6k so far for anything but whip punishing, but now makes a surprise call, catching something from Radune. And we're striding here. It took, like, a couple of the first games were slightly shaky, for sure. It's very understandable when you're a very data analytics kind of player. You might need a couple of rounds to adjust. There's a nice punish there. 2k 2D against that Leo 2D. Yep, and that's punish as well. I think unless it crosses you up, it's gonna be quite disadvantageous for Leo. Alright, time to deal in the corner. Yeah, you don't have enough time to 2D there, unfortunately. As long as LoHii doesn't hesitate, as long as Johnny goes for the strike immediately, there won't be time to make those pounces happen. Frame trap from 5k into far slash. Again, you would have to press something really, really fast to be able to go between that. Well, that definitely goes in between, though. Radune holds the parry stance just enough time there and releases it after the bar slash goes online. This might be Radune's round. It's exactly what we need for Radune Leo. Break the momentum. We need more Unga. Oh, that might be a little bit too much Unga. Landing straight into the potential punish attempt. Frame trap into turbulence. Immediate burst by LoHii. Again, look at that. Perfect timing on the strike. Able to retaliate against the first T2D from Leo, but not the second one. And now, oh my god, Radune! You're doing old school stuff! Alright, the microdash 6B works against surprisingly many pokes from from Johnny, as far as I'm aware. Should work on 6k as well. Oh, tried to throw. That time Radune was going for that reversal 2D. Yes, you heard me. And don't let anybody say that you shouldn't do it, for it's leading into really good situation here for Radune. 6B tried to drift forward. I think that I wonder, is Johnny's 2k fast enough when you're drifting forward and you see 6B coming up? Can you still press it? Maybe? It's a frames kind of a game, though. Radune able to break the momentum of LoHii's here, and definitely not too late. This is the point where we need adjustments, or either counter adjustments. It's like LoHii has made his adjustment already. Now it's up to Radune to present new things to crack. Because I think, I'm gonna be honest, it's like if we play standard, LoHii's just the king of standard, right? This is like the kind of consistent player that, you know, Street Fighter has brewed. So I'm gonna be honest, even if Radune is probably the more like a senior player in Guilty Gear front, I don't think we're gonna win this matchup by playing standard. And the good news is Radune does not play standard at all, so that's gonna play into his advantage for sure, for what your win conditions are in this matchup. The reversal super. Ooh, nice chase on the backdash. Radune is finding all the right reads here. Too far to punish. That would have been an okay option in the previous batch, but now that turbulence pushes you so far away, it's actually so hard to interact with Leo after that turbulence on block, especially since you're trying to contend with back turn Leo. Guard crush has been achieved. Backdash to avoid the 2D. And the zoning is back on. However, the angle on the instant air dash works out this time. Oh, and that's a successful hit, Radune. Chasing LoHii down in terms of score. And I mean, in terms of like what happened here on the... or rather what's been happening the past couple of rounds. Yeah, there we go, the low finder qualifies as something that can break Radune, or rather Leo, out of the stands. There we go, this time we choose a button that reaches much further. 5 heavy instead of that far slash after blocking Turbulence. MoB being very careful. Aggressive burst into the corner, nice, that kill the air throws that this franchise is known for. Followed up by pressure, has to take this wall break with the use of itzznexx, which, ooh, Radune, here we go. This is how it starts. LoHii has so much meter though, and still a positive bonus going on. Radune takes the wire seat. No punish initially, but we are still in the driver's seat. With a stagger pressure, showing the first or maybe the second command grab of the set. Yeah, understandable. You kind of don't want to break the wall there, especially letting Johnny go back to neutral with superior tension resources would certainly be, a lot of these situations would be a mistake for Leo. So sometimes Leo players just tend to like back out of the situation, especially if you're in back turn stance, and let the opponent tech off the wall and try to intercept them instead. Ooh, straight into the turn up. LoHii fakes an approach, DP comes out. Doesn't get the cleanest of punish, unfortunately, but this throw is gonna start the game. Once again, safe jump. Yep, safe jump get in. Instead of, I kind of like that. So instead of, I guess from the deal setup out of the throw, there isn't a clean safe jump, so LoHii is using just the backdash instant air dash to set it up. Just to make sure that, like, you know, the player who's very fond of, you know, aggressive options on wake up ain't gonna do any of those options. Right, once again, opportunity for Radune to even it up. Back, ooh! Radune goes for a shimmy. And even though LoHii does not end up flinching there, I think LoHii did a neutral jump after the back turn backdash, which put LoHii in a really bad position, because that's a back turn Leo that you're contending with. Again, back turn P is such a Chad move. Ah, the hesitation there again. Radune unleashing the 2D after the guard crush. Plant the tree. With a little bit of extra resources, cross up! Have to always keep that in mind. The Berserker Slash can still go behind you, even if your back is against the corner. Drift into the S-Fireball is already out. A perfect opportunity to use a barrage of those S-Sonic Booms. They come out very fast. They tend to trade with a lot of things, especially close mid-range. But they don't lead into much. So it's just like the selling point is kind of like the damage, I guess. You get a little bit of damage and nothing else, but that's a really great selling point if you're trying to take somebody out. Again, the 2D rings true as a counter hit. Here comes Radune. Radune is about to take the lead here, but the reversal super. YoKai. Oh, this is actually gonna kill, right? If we get the wall stuck. No, not quite. But the DP eventually comes out, says that I might as well. The risk isn't too high here. I mean, I would die anyway if I block. Nice interruption there with the SDP once again. Fall straight into the turn up. So LoHii's turn. Ooh, clashes with the DP, of course, because it is so disjointed after all. Here's the Radune's pressure. Into the command grab once again. Most of these have been sinking in. It's that one where LoHii got the reversal super out. This wouldn't break a wall, would it? Yeah, Radune kind of deems that that's the case. Use the RC instead. Stick them to the wall. Get the wall break damage. And just like that, Radune, again, in the winning position. The counter adjustment. What was it? I think it's just more aggression. Just do what you love to do, but do it better. Nice. Remembers that the lows are the way to break the stance here. Yeah, you can't really DP out of that at that range. Maybe reversal super, because Leo is one of those lucky characters who have a very far-reaching and very advancing reversal super. So depending on what kind of setup Johnny goes for, there might be some place. Nice reaction. I think that's the first time that LoHii reacts to the Berserker Slash. Surprisingly, Radune hasn't been playing the block-sling Berserker Slashes too much. Probably that might be a respect thing, actually, because like understanding what kind of player you're playing against, understanding that they are probably gonna react to your, oh, I said that, but here comes the pressure, he said, or rather the reset, immediately into the SDP. Radune is partying. Land into buttons? Wait, the JD didn't even produce a hitbox there? Yeah, lean onto this command grab. And the overhead, yeah, the classic to finish it up. Of course, the layer 1 mix-up always when Leo is in back turn stance. It is the overhead or the low. And surprisingly, another thing that Radune hasn't been using too much is the back turn overhead. Alright, immediate burst to the corner, nice. Micro dash, far slash. Interesting, LoHii choosing to respect here after the jump D. Perhaps expecting the cancel. Nice jumps out of it. However, Radune was option selecting with the PRC. We have the tech. Now LoHii will have to play an absolutely crazy, ungodly, perfect set. Radune misses the 2D, goes for the DP. Mind fucking. Even the most experienced of players. Is that gonna go through? That's actually gonna nullify the projectile, but not gonna pierce. LoHii is still in a pretty decent position here. SDP is so good here. Yeah, yep, look at that. He was looking for it. It's like, do something. I dare you. And like, other than the SDP there, sorry, the S Sonic Boom, like if you get hit by that on early to the round, it's kind of like whatever. You can just try to deal again. What is Leo gonna do? Oh my god, I can't believe this. Radune, he's suddenly mauling, clawing. Back to the perfect spacing here. Yep, the anti-air reactions are on point as well. Ooh, Radune RPSing. This time it's the back turn D after. Nice, this is going to be big damage. Well, he has 100 meter as well, so all kinds of ways to end this. Out of which this is the most classic one. Alright, Radune, 100 meter. You better be very afraid. Oh my god, he reacts to the forward dash. Goes for the flash kick. LoHii needs to put an end to this. Minus 50. Wait, was that punish? Does the deep... Wait. Does that actually punish Mistfinder? I need to check the frame data afterwards. But now, for now, LoHii looping the guard crush, pushing Radune to the corner. And absolutely has to make this happen. Basic wild assault conversion from the round start. Ooh, goes for the 2 buttons too slow. I think LoHii was trying to press 2K there, but missed the input and just got the 2K 2D, or rather the 2D part of the 2K 2D. The double jump, yes, go for the close slash. Come down into my big hitbox. Berserker slash, yep. That's one of the situations where you can't actually throw it. When the Berserker slash follows an RC like that, you don't have enough frames to throw. And that's one of the reactions. Oh my god, Radune. Godlike play. Into. Ooh, LoHii chooses to go for the gold burst here. So basically saying, I will win here. Yeah, threatening the low. Radune finally comes out of the parry stance with the air dash. LoHii doesn't have time to get the 6P out. And Radune is able to go into the set point position once again. Or rather, is this the first time? I think this is actually the first set point position. 6K as a makeshift anti-air works too. Got the turn up. Good timing on the burst. Puts LoHii into the more dangerous side of the round. Or the stage, rather. The frame trap, however, Radune a little too far to make the conversion work, was trying to sneak in micro dash, or rather step dash into a throw. Radune has the burst, Doesn't manage to put Radune in the corner though. But good check on the Berserker slash 2K. Now, all right, 50 meters still ready to go. Not quite gonna kill, but not gonna get the super out either. Are we gonna drift forward? No, just far slash this time. I'm surprised that LoHii gambled it on a far slash here, because there's been so many cases where Radune in this exact same position goes for a micro dash 6p in order to try to counter that far slash. But again, Tiger cannot get rid of its stripes. You have to abide by the best tools that you have. And the game dictates that far slash is really good at that range. You can deny so many things from Leo. Even if you know the threat of the 6p exists, you gotta play. Otherwise, you're a pussy. Nah, I mean, that's just how RPS in fighting games works. All right. Run for Roy. Oh my god, gets hit by the turbulence frame trap. Into nice backdash, manages to avoid the command grab, misses the combo. Not like this, LoHii. The execution when it matters the most. Radune still, couple more tricks up their sleeve. This SDP actually catches, and all right, it was definitely not free for LoHii. Had to use the deflect shield there to push Radune away and get the whiff punish. So starting this round without any burst resources. Here come the Mistfinders. That's a cool response for sure. If you're at a perfect spacing, then it might actually be hard for LoHii to release the Mistfinder into the S Fireball. Jump out, nice the angle! Got the cross-up jump K, and you can't DP out of this position. LoHii is gonna break the wall. And what then? Probably previously has been dealing a lot here and just assuming a defensive perimeter. Goes for it again. This is the safest kind of play that you can do. Radune Leo, ooh, actually not a cross-up. Hits from the front. I think LoHii was trying to interrupt the reversal super. Yes, indeed, of course you would. You have 100. There is no other choice that you make here. There is no other RPS option that you pick. No way. You always spend the 100 here. In fact, if I see players in this position and they're like, they don't spend the super when the opponent literally has 1 hit point left or they're about to die themselves. If you don't spend the super PRC, then shame on you, for you are letting the opponent get away with murder. Now 6-6 in our most close set here on oh my god, LoHii, he found the tool. He found the tool. If Radune is trying to frame trap into the turbulence, you backdash the turbulence and then whiff punish it instead. It is unpunishable on block, but on whiff, on whiff. As a matter of fact. All right, LoHii at the perfect moment, waking up with another counter adjustment. Now LoHii, first set point position. That's a punish. Yep, go with a 2K. Go with it again. Yep. Even though those might be small conversions, it's more important to get something rather than get nothing. Especially for a character like Johnny, who can deal into turn up into a really great position here. Potentially. Oh, here we go. Radune Leo's last pounds out of the defensive position. Oh my god, we have the jump out. No burst. No burst still. Radune holding on to it. Punish has to burst here, right? There's no way otherwise. Plus 10. Again, LoHii with a makeshift air dash out of the corner. Vault, and then into a successful hit. What a back and forth set. LoHii first, or rather, I think Radune first, starting with a couple of very unknown shenanigans, bamboozling LoHii. Then LoHii making the perfect Street Fighter kind adjustment. Just play the spacing. Stand in the right places. What is character like Leo gonna do if you are taking a character like Johnny to the perfect striking distance? 2D, gonna whiff. S, Fireball, Lamar. Then Radune, turn on the heat, put on a couple more layers of madness into it. Was able to get a successful lead, 6 points, LoHii on 4, and then LoHii comes back. Wow. I think character like Johnny probably suits LoHii more than a character like Ram as well. Because I think in the past, LoHii has been mostly a Faust player. I forgot if LoHii was Faust player in Strive as well. But of course, in the past, it kind of makes sense because, you know, Faust is kind of like sort of Street Fighter fundamentals, utilizing character. But in Strive, Faust is quite different. And I think Ram as a character, when I like. When LoHii was playing Ram, I was like, I think this character might not be LoHii kind of character. It's just a little bit too technical, maybe. And I don't mean that in a bad sense. I'm the same kind of player that I'm like, to utilize my fundamentals, I must have a character that is not too technical for me, so I can lean on the fundamentals that I know the best. And I think Johnny might just be the kind of character that suits LoHii the most. Maybe. Anyway, speculation aside, great sets today, especially the last one. Yeah, we're gonna be done for this week, but if you wanna participate in further events, you know how it goes. You can join Discord, get in on the sign-up forms, and we'll set you up with players of your skill level and hopefully players that you can connect to as best as possible. Right. Let's see what's available on Guilty Gear Strive on twitch.tv. I think this is a week when gender cross-up is not running as far as I know. Frosty Fastings is still on? Is it? Wait, what's... Oh, I see they have all sorts of weird tournaments. So the singles are done, of course, for Frosty Fastings, but there are, for example, like team tournaments and stuff like that going on at the moment still. So you should definitely check the Frosty Fastings channels if you're interested in that. Wait, is there any Guilty Gear Strive going on? But yeah, thank you so much for watching once again. We'll see you... Yeah, there's a very little amount of Guilty Gear Strive going on at the moment. It's fine. I'll send you guys to Duck. Not Duck, but Duck. Hey, see you again next week, same time, 5 p.m. CET, sorry, because we're not on summertime yet. Same FT7s every week. Yep, that's pretty much all for me. I'm hungry. I'll see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.